Let's pull up what's actually
There
happening.
have been large crowds of people here at the start of summer, people coming out to enjoy the warm weather and enjoy the beach. Many backpackers frequent this area, also many locals and families and people who live around here. So the idea of having police boats, police choppers above us, and just a large number of police and paramedic cars lining the streets is just a complete shock to a community like this. It's just something that's likely to leave a very dark mark in this area.
Sean Turek Goodwin from the Sydney newsroom down at Bondi Beach. A reminder, New South Wales Police say 2 people are in custody at Bondi Beach. There is an ongoing police operation after an active shooting. People are being advised to avoid the area. We've heard from a spokesperson for the Prime Minister and also the New South Wales Premier, Chris Minns, who says that the reports and images coming in out of Bondi tonight are deeply distressing and urging people to listen to the authorities. Sean, can you just talk us through the scale of the police operation there? Just how many emergency services can you see in front of you? How many workers down there at the moment?
I can see a large number of workers. The most type of workers I can see are paramedics. But I can see up the Campbell Parade here, which stretches along Bondi Beach, and it goes up, curls behind the Bondi Icebergs Pool and up to Bondi Road. I can see police cars and sirens right down the other side of the beach. People are being excluded from this area. We were turned around. The police stopped cars from entering very far up towards the hill on the complete other side of the beach here. I can see sirens from the south. I can see the police and emergency services flashing lights from the south right through to the north here at Bondi. It's a massive scale. The amount of sirens that were heard in this area as well coming to this scene, it was just a complete song of sirens coming down.
Yeah, and a reminder, if you're joining us, we are covering a breaking news operation in Sydney. There has been what appears to be a shooting at Bondi Beach. We have images, chaotic scenes of what appears to be injured people. We have our Sydney newsroom.
Okay, so what welcome to the live stream, everyone. What ABC is not reporting right now, which I'm seeing in all the Jewish groups here, is that it was a Chanukah event. Welcome to the live stream. Share it out. They're not talking about what's actually going on there. They're covering the actual on the ground. So we're gonna bring in their feed a little bit, and we'll hear what authorities say. But
alarming content. We have heard from a spokesperson from the Prime Minister and also the New South Wales Premier.
So essentially, I'm seeing in all the Jewish groups, and this is all unfolding as we're coming live on here. So welcome, people. But this is seems to be what we've feared for the last 2 years, where it was all heading, and it seems like from initial reports, and especially from not what you're seeing on the news here, but within Jewish groups that I happen to be a part of, being part of the community, and we're seeing a lot of footage and different people that I know that say that they family members have been shot. So this it looks like it's a mass casualty event, a terrorist attack. They're not using those words now in the mainstream media, but just from what I'm seeing here on the back end, this is what it really seems to be, which is scary. There are 2 men of what I understand to be Middle Eastern appearance in custody. There were, you can see there's what looks like a shotgun, but there was, from what I understand, there was also rifles there. We're just doing this on the fly as well, so let me just get rid of this stuff. Okay. We'll tune in a little bit to ABC.
I guess we'll cover it as it unfolds. There's no set format for this particular live stream. But horrific news, Avi. I mean, just devastating to see terror attacks on our home soil here in Australia. And like you said, it's something we've feared that would be seeing. Now, I'm saying terrorist attack because this is what it looks like. It's not being designated as such. But it's just horrific to see. And it's just, this is one of my most popular beaches in Australia. I think the most popular. And you have people out and about in Australia now subject to being terrorized by these types of individuals. And as you're saying, from your particular intel from the groups that you're a part of, if it's a targeted event at a particular event, is it the first day of Hanukkah today? Is
it's
that
the
what
first
this
day
is?
of yeah. So tonight is all the Hanukkah events. I'm just pulling up here. I'm just watching. I've got the shooters here on the ground being arrested.
So it does appear to be targeted. Of course, information is still coming in, and we might find out more information. But from the information that's coming in right now from various sources, it does appear to be this way. And again, just horrific seeing this in Australia. These
Yeah,
type of
but
mass casualty events and shootings, just sick.
it looks like, from what I can see in this footage, and obviously we've got to be careful about what we share on screen here. Obviously, we're streaming on multi-streaming, so across YouTube and Facebook and different platforms. So we can't really put everything out there. But what we can see here is it looks like actually civilians apprehended, and you can see the guns on the ground.
Well, yeah, there is a civilian else actually kicking one of the guys on the ground once they've been captured.
Yeah.
Maybe we can blur the screen, Avi, and show some of this stuff as well.
And you're seeing, there's police working on multiple victims. I think ABC is going to run the safest. They're blurring it already. So what you're seeing is their version. So you see there behind them, you could see it's a Hanukkah event by what's in the background of the footage. So it's insane to me that they're not even saying that. Like, they're just refusing to bring that point
everything
up.
you shared with us. It would be great if we could keep you on the line to keep hearing your observations as this.
Let me see if I can find someone in Bondi.
We also have another ABC reporter,
to call in,
who's just arrived at Bondi Beach. Mel, talk us through, what can you see where you are?
So I'll just while you're doing that, Avi, I'll just read some of the stuff from The Age just to give updates
go
on
for
what's
it. Yeah,
live
I'll turn this down, but so we can hear it a little bit.
So we got so Age is reporting shooting on first night of Hanukkah. Eyewitnesses have described graphic scenes at Bondi Beach tonight as multiple people have been shot on the first night of Hanukkah. Gunmen opened fire just after 6:30 p.m. this evening as hundreds of Sydney-siders attended a Hanukkah by the Sea event to celebrate the start of the Jewish festival. We also have 2 people in custody at Bondi Beach. 2 people are in police custody at Bondi Beach. The police operation is ongoing.
10 ambulances coming down Oxford Street in about the 10 minutes that it took me to get down here. There's been another 3 just in the last couple of minutes.
I'll try to get someone at the actual beach.
This is still very much an active scene. There are a lot of people in this kind of area that are gathered on
obviously we're going to have responses from all the leaders on this, and I think seeing this in Australia, when was the last terrorist attack like this in Australia? The specific terrorist attack, was that the Lint siege?
The police helicopter.
Yeah, the Lint Cafe was the largest.
Lint Cafe.
The last major terrorist attack in Sydney, or designated terror attack.
The helicopter is sort of messaging that this is a dangerous situation. People that I have spoken to in the last couple of minutes, Bella, have just been telling me that they...
So, community alert for the whole Jewish community in Sydney, which is mainly around that area, saying due to the unfolding events in Sydney, a decision has been made out of an abundance of caution that Chanukah in Melbourne is now cancelled.
Okay.
All Chanukah events in Sydney have also been cancelled.
Thanks so much for those details, Mel, and for jumping online. Just a reminder, New South Wales Police say 2 people are in custody at Bondi Beach. There is an ongoing police operation. People are being advised to avoid the area. It appears that a number of people have been injured. We have our New South Wales newsroom reporter Digby Worthmuller on the scene. Digby, talk us through what can you see where you are down at Bondi Beach?
Look, it's very much still a developing situation here down in Bondi, and there's very little information that we can provide to you at this stage, but what we can provide to you is that police are currently searching the area where that where the shooting took place for explosives.
I'll just give an update.
And so they're
Are you hearing the?
Yeah, we can put his audio down. So the media director for the can you put that audio down?
Yep. Go on.
No, I can still hear it. Okay, there it's gone. The media director for the Executive Council of Australian Jewry has been shot in the attack at Bondi Beach.
Wow.
So, a media director for the Executive Council of Australian Jewry has been shot in the attack at Bondi Beach this evening. Telling the Telegraph they heard dozens and dozens of gunshot. Evan Salatkis, the council director of media, confirmed the attackers shot attendees of a Jewish event at North Bondi, right next to the children's playground. It's the worst situation that I've ever seen, Mr. Salatkis said from Bondi Beach. Hundreds of people were celebrating Hanukkah. It's an annual event. Suddenly we heard people popping noises, dozens and dozens of popping noises. So that's being reported by the Herald Sun.
It's a Hanukkah event. It's like I'm just getting all the...
So I think even the media now is reporting that it's directly, specifically targeted towards the people attending this Hanukkah event. So Hanukkah by the seaside at Bondi Beach.
Which is a very Jewish area. That's the Sydney...
and witnesses saying they heard around 50 rounds being fired into the crowd area.
But I just want to reiterate that right now police are urging people to just stay away from Bondi and adhere to the official information while they wrap their heads around what exactly has gone down here at Bondi.
I'm just going to try to get someone in Bondi.
The Prime Minister has received briefings from the AFP Commissioner and the New South Wales Premier. There's also some information come through from New South Wales Ambulance. It says more than 25 resources have been dispatched to the scene at Bondi, including medical teams, ambulances, helicopters and special operations units. They're treating multiple patients at the scene and have transported 4 already to St Vincent's Hospital, 1 to RPA and 1 to St George Hospital. Digby, talk us through what's the atmosphere like down there where you are. We can see a lot of flashing lights. You've described how chaotic it is. What else can you tell us?
As they come in, because we do have a media person here, so we can just get that information out there as clearly. Yeah. So just let us know when you want to come back to us.
Okay, I'll introduce myself. So Joe O'Brien joining this coverage of this really disturbing event that's arisen this afternoon at Bondi. Bondi, usually the picture of Sydney beauty and peacefulness, and terribly that has been shattered this afternoon. Usually there are thousands of people there, especially on a Sunday afternoon, enjoying a swim, enjoying the beach volleyball with daylight saved,
Avi,
late into the night.
Put the audio down.
So many people. This is a haven.
So, news.com is reporting that 10 people have been confirmed dead.
It looks like it. I saw in the Jewish group says about people were naming 7 people.
This is horrific. So we have 10 people confirmed dead by news.com.au. This is a mass shooting terror event here on our shores in Australia at Bondi Beach. And it's just sick and disgusting that this is happening. Just disgusting. A gunman has been shot dead and another is being treated after opening fire at Bondi Beach, killing 10 people in what is believed to be a targeted attack on a Jewish event. So this is reporting from news.com.au. It is understood the Hanukkah event was the target of the attack, which police sources believe has been planned for months. So a pre-planned terror attack. One gunman is understood to have been shot dead and another has been shot and is in custody and is being worked on by emergency services. Newswire understands 10 people have been confirmed dead, including children and a police officer.
Yeah,
so a child has been confirmed dead, and a police officer has also been confirmed dead. A New South Wales ambulance spokesman said paramedics were called at 6:45 p.m. to reports of multiple people shot at Bondi Beach. We responded with more than 26 resources, including medical teams by helicopter and roads, intensive care paramedics, and special operations paramedics. So currently they're treating more people at the St. Vincent's Hospital as well. So this is the confirmed number of deaths so far, according to news.com.au, is 10 people, including a child and a police officer. One gunman is also dead, one in custody, and multiple people being treated for gunshot wounds at St. Vincent's Hospital, as I understand. Witnesses say at least 50 rounds were shot into the crowd discriminately the first day of a Hanukkah event in Sydney, Hanukkah by the Sea. And we're just seeing the overhead shots now from ABC of that particular setup area. And you're seeing the aftermath of that, where people have run away and obviously gotten into safety from the area. So it is an unfolding situation, guys. We'll bring you live coverage of what's happening. We're getting an aerial shot now from ABC of a ambulance taking people to the hospital. But yeah, Mark, make no mistake, this is a serious terrorist attack on Australian soil, and it looks like a very targeted, motivated terror attack against a segment of our community who has been terrorized now for years in this country. And you know, we can talk all about that. There's a time for that, but right now, I think we're dealing with just the horrific nature of this attack. I'm actually shocked that we're seeing this in Australia, and yeah, it's just I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest.
Sorry, I'm trying to get details.
No, you try to get someone from there. I'm just reading the comments as well, and yeah, this is world international news as well. I mean, this is a major significant terror attack in a Western democracy against a particular group. It looks like. So you can see the aerial shots there of all the police resources and ambulance resources. Obviously, everything is being thrown at this by law enforcement. So some people are joining in the comments and asking what happened. So guys, there's been what looks like a terror attack on Bondi Beach in Sydney. At least 10 people have been confirmed dead, including one child and a police officer, according to reporting from news.com.au. Looks like it was a targeted attack at a Hanukkah event, so targeted towards the Jewish community. And you know, we're just bringing you the scenes from ABC, the live cross from ABC, just to show you some of what's happening. You can see a lot of their police officers and ambulance workers there working on people, getting them onto stretchers, getting them onto ambulances. We do have reports of multiple people with gunshot wounds being taken to hospital as well. So the death toll right now stands at 10, including also, I believe, one of the gunmen is also dead, and one is in custody.
I'm going to turn my mic off for 2 seconds just so, because I think I've got somebody that was there when the shooting happened. So just before I bring them on, I think it's an older lady. So I just want to talk to her before I bring her on. So I'll just stop my mic. You keep talking.
Yeah, no worries. So guys, I was just trying to get a live cross from someone from Bondi Beach that was there during the shooting. In the meantime, I'll keep bringing you live updates of what I'm seeing on the news, as well as we'll talk about what we're seeing on the ABC live cross as well. But if you're joining in, this is a obviously tragic day in Australia. I think this will go down as possibly the worst mass casualty shooting of this terror nature in Australia after a long time. So let me just have a look at the news sources and see what we can get you guys some more information. But you know, the stuff that's online, we're not playing all that footage because a lot of it is graphic, but there is a lot of graphic footage floating around online of people lying on the floor dead with gunshot wounds. It looks like a scene, you know, when I'm looking at these videos of people, Australians on the ground, with blood streaming out of their faces and their heads. It looks like a scene out of October 7th there on Bondi Beach. And these evil people that did this to these people, they're just sick, disgusting terrorists. And it's just horrific looking at these footages. I'm looking at footage of people working on people on CPR. I just can't believe what I'm looking at. Just to see in these images, it's just, I can't believe it.
He said this incident lasted about 10 minutes. He described it as absolute hell on earth and said that it was an incredibly shocking thing he saw. And these again are confronting details. People
just sick.
Lying in pools of blood who appeared to have been shot. I asked him if he believed that anyone had been killed. And that was the description he gave
Sean,
to me.
we'll just have to leave you there because we're just hearing that our other reporter, Digby Worthmuller, has an update for us.
Yeah, so just coming to you live here from Bondi, and we've just been speaking.
Can you suck the sound up, Avi?
That the active threats, those shooters have been neutralised by police, and there's no ongoing active threat to the public down here in Bondi, but it's very much still an active.
All right. The report is saying there's no active threat according to police, so they've been neutralised. From what I've heard, the description of the shooters have been given as brown Arab-looking men. Again, it's not confirmed yet. Just from the footage that's floating around online, there is footage of people holding these people down. Again, it's not 100% confirmed. Guys, we'll turn up the volume and give more updates from ABC. Avi's just talking to someone who was there, and he's trying to get them on a live cross into the show, so you can kind of
Rukshan,
yeah.
Can you hear me? Hold on, I'm just going to turn down that one. So we've got Sylvia on the line, who was actually there when it happened. Sylvia, I'm just going to put her. It's
not just I was there. I was near the terrorism, near them, and they was coming to us. Like 7th of October, they coming to us, the Muslim. No police, no security. It was CSG, but they didn't have a gun. CSG.
So what exactly happened? You were there for the Chanukah event.
I was in the Chanukah. I go every year to the Chanukah in Bondi Beach. Bondi Beach. I live not just by, and I go every year. And this year I went. It was in 5 o'clock, and it happened, I think, in 6:30. I'm not sure what time it was. And suddenly I was sitting laughing with my friend. Suddenly I heard some gun. No, I thought it's like, that
fireworks.
Firework. Sorry, I'm Israeli, so firework. So that's what I saw. So then I turned around. I saw 7 Muslims with the beer. I think they're religious. Yeah. With women costume on shooting. With the big, the M16, the gun. It's not a gun. It's the gun. The M16.
M16, the rifle.
All Bondi Beach ran away. Not just that, but everyone in Bondi Beach ran away. But we are stuck there because a lot died. And they are injured. A lot of injured. A little girl died near me. Another couple died. Everyone that was near me died.
How did you get away?
I was waiting, I pretend time died. A rabbi was near me, covered me. I think he was like, and I put something on me. I couldn't breathe. They said not to talk, not to breathe for 45 minutes. And the shooting didn't stop. Someone called the police. In the moment he called the police, he died. They killed him. So someone else tried. The police come just after 45 minutes. They didn't know they're screaming. They don't know what they're doing. And I stand up. I was so scared, and shocked to see all the kids, babies, kids dead.
So you're saying more than one, because right now they're reporting one child dead. How many people did you see? And you saw more than one child?
There was a lot of them was bleeding.
Yeah.
And collapse. The bleeding in the head and collapse. So the police become ambulance. A lot of ambulance. A lot of them that was dead, they covered them. So I saw a lot covered them.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I don't know how I survived, I'll be honest with you, because everyone near me dead. And when the police comes, they said, you can stand up. I was so scared. I'm in shock. I live alone. My son is in Israel. My daughter in Israel. One in Melbourne. I don't know if you know her family, Brava. She lives in Melbourne.
Yeah.
She called me all the time because I sent her a video. I got a video. You can see the video before it happened.
Where they were just doing the Chanukah event. How far into the Chanukah?
I was just doing, was laughing and that. I couldn't believe it. The shooting was like, every time they shoot, they say Allahu Akbar.
What was that they were saying?
Every time they were shooting, they were screaming Allahu Akbar.
Avi, I thought I'm going to die. And I say Shema Israel. The rabbi says Shema Israel. Everyone was bleeding in the head. They come, the ambulance comes, they start covering people. So I didn't know. I was so shocked. I wanted to go out. I ran away. And the police said to me, they can be everywhere. So I start panicking more because a lot of them. And there was, in Bondi Beach, Bondi Beach?
Yes,
I live
yes.
in Bondi Beach,
Yes.
but you know what is there? It's some stairs, a stair. Like a stair that you can go down. They were standing up near us in the stairs and shooting. On the police, 45 minutes, I couldn't believe it. The police just next door to us. The police next door in Bondi Beach.
And it took them 45 minutes. You're saying it took 45 minutes for police to arrive.
Listen, Avi, they didn't give us a police. They said, we are safe, you are safe. They said to the CAG, you are safe. No one. It was no police. CSG doesn't have a gun. How is they going to protect us? The CAG was in the floor also.
This is shocking. All right. I
Shocking,
hope.
truly shocking.
What CSG is like us? They don't know. They even didn't do the army. I don't know. They don't know nothing.
What's
Oh my God, Avi, I don't want to stay in Australia. After what I experienced going back to Israel, I'll be honest with you, I saw the police here, they don't care, the government doesn't care. What's happened? It's all over the world. I can't believe it, and I never saw a dead person. Now I saw a lot of dead. Little girl. She was screaming, they saw her screaming, they killed her, and she stopped and knew that she died.
So how long have you been in Australia?
My son came here when he's 38 years. I know your mom is from here. Your mom from Sydney, is it? No, Melbourne?
My mum's from Israel, but my father's from Sydney, yeah.
But she was a friend with Leah Baha.
Yes, I know Leah. Yeah.
But is your mom used to live in Sydney or Melbourne?
Yeah. They lived in Sydney for a year and then they moved to Melbourne. Yeah.
I know your mom. I used to see her in school everywhere.
So but you're telling me now that's it. You're going back to Israel because you feel like this is what.
Don't say that for my safety. Don't say that. Don't say that I want to go back to Israel because I don't know who can hear that, But I'm so disappointed about Australia. We shouldn't stay here at Avi. My son is a private investigation here, and that's what he want to do. He want to live in Israel after what's happened. It can happen to everyone. They can come kill us for a wedding. What's happened? Bondi Beach, that it's popular, and everyone need to be a police. No security, no nothing. They can, this government, they bring Hamas to Australia. They bring Hamas, Palestinians, they bring all these people to Australia. We can't stay here anymore. We can't.
I'm so sorry. What?
If you see Bondi Beach is all Bondi is closed. Just police, helicopter, everything. But people died already. What is going to help?
Have you got somebody there today to be with?
Yeah, I'm alone. Israel, they knew about that, and they called me. My son called me. He's in a Miluim. My son is in a Miluim. Yeah. He called me and he said to me, I'm calling the ambulance because they need to check your blood pressure because I'm 68, They need to check your blood pressure. They need to check. I said, I don't want anyone. I'm in shock. I don't know. I don't know if I need someone. I don't know if I need ambulance. Everyone's so cold in Australia. Everyone's so cold. The police said to me, every time when it's an event in Australia, Jewish event, things like that, it's happened with a big smile.
So,
I felt like to kill her.
Please let somebody come and see you and see that you're okay and take your blood pressure.
Going to come. The ambulance, they all going. I'm sick of the going.
But see, just let your son know. We're going to let you off the line here, but make sure you're okay because what you've experienced tonight is a shocking situation.
The singer will call Hatsala.
Call Hatsala or call or if you or message. I'll message somebody to make sure that they can check in on you.
Yeah, maybe Hatsala to check my blood pressure. I'm not well, you know. I'm going to sleep. I never saw dead people, and I saw them now. Even I was in the army, I didn't see dead people like now.
You're saying to me in the army in Israel you didn't see that bad people that you saw in Sydney and Bondi tonight?
No. That time when I did the army, it was like a long time ago. It was not bad like now.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see, you know, like face to face, like someone. What you mean? I didn't see like someone that is really in life, near you, friend, talking to you on dead.
Yeah.
This a moment. I never saw that.
Was there somebody that you knew there that was killed that you know was?
All my friend, one of them died. Actually, one of them, I think she's injured. I didn't know. She was bleeding. Her son died in the Lebanon war. You know her? She's from Sydney. She's a friend of mine. He died in the time of Lebanon war, the second Lebanon
Oh
war.
yes. I know. Yeah, that's when
She
I.
was talking with me on Sunday. She was bleeding, so I don't know if she's still in life. I don't know. Didn't see her. I'm just in shock. Believe me, I'm shocked.
So she was talking. She was talking to you when she got shot.
Nashekhabad, WhatsApp. I'm religious, so we WhatsApp with Nashekhabad.
Yeah.
And they're all doing tehillim. What is going to help all this? I don't know. I don't know. Hashem loves me. I'll be honest with you, Avi. Hashem loves me because I had this bad feeling. Every year I go to the Chanukah party. And I had this bad feeling. I dress up and then I take off my blouse and then again, no, I go. No, you know how sometimes you go, I go, I don't go. Is Hashem give you the... Hashem give you a signal that not to go.
Yeah.
I should listen. I didn't listen. I went like someone pushing me to go.
What would you say to the government now? What would you say to the Australian government or the state government?
I'm very disappointed. For the police. I don't know if the police, the government that bring all this bloody, that bring them to our country, and I knew it will happen. Avi, for sure you knew that something like that will happen one day. And it happened. It's happened. I used to live in Ashdod near Gaza. On my niece, they killed my niece also on 7th of October. She was in the party and they killed her. So we already got in the family that we lost. And when I was there, you know what I felt? 7th of October. They're coming to us. Shooting and coming to us. I can't believe which country I'm in.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I got so much weight. In Bondi, did you hear helicopter?
Yeah, we can see it. We can see Bondi. Look, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna message somebody just to make sure to check in on you and make sure you're okay. No, your name's not mentioned. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell other people to. Yeah.
Because I don't want to call.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. I'll message them now to let them know.
What to tell you? Everyone knows, all the world knows.
Yeah.
Isaac Herzog has said here about this event, but he says it's a terror attack against the community Hanukkah celebration on Bondi Beach. At these very moments, he says,
I'll make sure somebody goes in to check on you.
Attacked by vile terrorists in a very cruel
Uh,
attack
uh,
on
the-
Jews who went to light the first candle of Hanukkah.
I don't want to say now because we're just running live, so I'll message him.
The heart of the entire nation of Israel misses a beat at this very moment as we pray for the recovery.
No.
So Avi's just finishing up a phone call,
just turn
guys,
my mic.
that we had. Just mute your mic, Avi, and we'll probably unpack what we heard from that lady as well. So there's a few things that she was saying on the phone. Obviously, very distressed. She's just witnessed people that she knows being killed at Bondi Beach, and she was giving her reaction to what's unfolding, and you could hear the distress in her voice, as well as she gave some details around the police response. Again, this is all speculative so far because we can't 100% confirm, but based on the testimony that she gave on the phone call, she was saying that the police took a long time to arrive, even though the police is close by. And I think what she was trying to say is that there were police near there, but they weren't armed, so unable to stop. This is kind of the understanding that I got from some of the things that she was trying to say, as well as some of the videos that are coming out on X right now. We're seeing people in the Bondi crowd, people in the just everyday Aussies tackling one of the gunmen, taking the weapon off them and pointing the weapon towards them as well. So it does look like initially the response has come from the people who are under attack. So I'm not sure exactly how long the police took to respond, and we do have reports of at least one policeman being shot dead as well, according to news.com.au. All of this is in the air right now as information comes in, but that is what I got from that lady. And she was saying that multiple children were shot near her as well, and she saw multiple people with their obviously lying on the ground dead, covered with their faces covered by the authorities that arrived there. So this is a very significant event, guys, that's taken place here in Bondi Beach. Is very much a terrorist attack from everything that I've seen, the way that it's coordinated, the individuals involved, as well as the targeting of the public. This is very much a terrorist attack, and it does look like from all the reporting that we're seeing was specifically targeted towards the Jewish community at their Hanukkah event. And as the lady said, as the gunmen were firing shots, they were screaming out Allah Akbar each time as they were firing into the crowd. So that is kind of what's unfolding. We also have a message from the Prime Minister. This is what the Prime Minister has said. The scenes in Bondi are shocking and distressing. Police and emergency responders are on the ground working to save lives. My thoughts are with every person affected. I just have spoken with the AFP Commissioner and New South Wales Premier. We are working with New South Wales Police and will provide further updates as more information is confirmed. I urge people in the vicinity to follow information from the New South Wales Police. So a lot of innocent Australians, a lot of Australian families tonight affected, a lot of loved ones not going home tonight who have just gone to this, Bondi Beach. A lot of people caught up in this disgusting, disturbing act of terror on our shores here in Australia. And many people have been warning about the possibility of this, and there's a lot to unpack here when it comes to looking at how these events may have unfolded, the instigating reasons for these events. I'm sure we can talk about all of those things, but Avi, if you can hear me, just reacting to what's your reaction to? Did you manage to message someone to look after that lady?
I've literally got my brother driving to this lady's house. She knows my mother. Like
sure
this is a Jewish community, and she's just going to make sure that the problem is. Who do you call now? Everybody's at the beach, and you've got this poor woman at home who's clearly in shock. She's witnessed one of her friends, from what I understand from her story, and she's telling us the story while she's in shock. But one of her friends has been shot, and she believes killed. She doesn't know. She was bleeding out when they got. But she said it took 45 minutes. She watched a young child that she said she saw at least one child that was screaming for help and that had been shot. She said that there was, bearded, out of nowhere, coming in, from what I understood she was saying, in swim gear. So came from the beach and just started opening fire with beards and screaming Allahu Akbar.
From what I'm seeing, like, these particular terrorists were coordinated. They were dressed in a similar manner. They were wearing bullet belts or some sort of some manner. And, this is not a spontaneous attack. Make no mistake. There has been some level of planning into this that has gone into this for this particular day. And it's sick and frightening just to hear about from that lady, the response of our law enforcement, if that is the case. Again, it's all, she was obviously in shock as well. And she might not have seen everything that's unfolding. We don't know for sure. But from what she said, Avi, She said 45 minutes for actual armed officers to respond in that area, from her testimony that she just gave to us. So
she's not okay, and this is like,
yeah,
I can't believe that this is happening. Do you know what? I can believe it's happening in 2025 in Australia, because all the warning signs have been there.
Yeah.
But she says there, and I think what she was trying to tell us is that the police had said prior to this event that it's all okay. They've done all security things prior to any Jewish events. They had the CSG, which is the local security group, but they had no guns and there were no police there. And then it took 45 minutes for them to respond, and the shooting just didn't stop.
Well, I think we can probably share that video of the gunman being disarmed. I'm gonna send this to you, Avi, because it's not.
Send it on Twitter.
I'll send it on X to you. On X, because I think that goes to the point of the police response. Because if you're having people that were there disarming the gunman, it shows you that people had to take it into their own hands. And this particular individual, from the way that he's dressed, he looks like a Jewish individual, possibly, and the way that he's handled the weapon, possibly some training as well. And he's managed to disarm the terrorist and take his weapon off him. So I just sent that to you on X.
That was hard, that interview. Like,
that was. I mean, I've never obviously dealt with a live unfolding situation like this, where you got someone calling in who has been at the center of what's happened and seen people around her die, and the distress in her voice. That is an Australian woman calling in, guys. That is the raw essence of people going through terror on our shores in Australia, and this is what we're up against now in this country, and this is what it's come to. See if you can find that video that I just sent you.
Yeah, it's not my X messages on my computer's not. Let me see if I can get into something else.
Can I WhatsApp it to you? No, that doesn't work.
No. Can you email it to? I don't know what this email is. Let me just see. I'll take a photo of it. Send me it to this email.
Yeah, WhatsApp me the email address.
Yeah. I want to go back and see if I think I can pull up that interview again. I just want to listen back for those that weren't tuned in.
Yeah.
While I send you this, so you can send me that video. But let me see. Let me see if I can pull up, because I think it'll come up as a few minutes ago. For those of you that are just tuning in, there has been a terrorist attack at a Chanukah event on the first night at a in Bondi Beach in Sydney.
All right, check your email.
Yep. Okay, let me pull that up first, and then we'll go back and just listen to that interview. And I've just got to check that my brother's gone over to her house. Like that's where we're at now. And like, I'm literally sending my brother to her house to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is the video that.
And we've got a close shot of one of the terrorists as well, so I'll send you that as well.
Here you go. So that's a shot of literally that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Insane. Watch this again. A civilian has tackled the gunman, taken his gun off him. And I don't know if he shot him, but he's...
No, he's not shooting him. He's calling people over. I mean, he restrained himself. I mean, this is the epitome of a heroic act in that situation, to put yourself in harm's way.
Yeah, 100%. And look, and the fear that would be going through
someone.
And the fear that would be going through your head in that moment as well, because you see he puts down the gun. Look at the coward. Look at what a fucking dog. What a dog. Like he runs like a little coward without his gun from some old guy. Yeah. Did you just see that? There was some old Jewish guy there. So you see the guy that pulled the gun off him has put it to the side because he's obviously gone, oh crap, now I look like I'm the shooter. And you got some old Jewish guy throwing some like anything at him, and he's running like a little coward because without that weapon where he could shoot kids, and this is the thing, for 2 years, these are the people that have been screaming child killer at Jews, walking down the street for looking Jewish, but when they get the freaking chance, even here in Australia in 2025, they take it to shoot kids. And then when you have an old man up against you when you're unarmed, suddenly you're running away.
Yeah. And look, what I understood from what the lady told us as well, they've had this, like you can see in that particular video there, they have this higher position on this bridge from what I'm seeing on a higher plane, and they're shooting down into the crowd as well.
Yeah.
So, people pretty much had no defense is what it appears like. Like people were just mowed down. And I am, I would not be surprised.
You can see the guy that threw. You can actually see that guy that threw the thing at the gunman as he was running away. His friend has shot him, and you see then he's holding his arm after. And now you can see in the back somebody's police. There's finally police.
Yeah.
There's finally police. That's the police officer that I think got shot. I'm going to pull it in case it gets thing.
I sent you a close-up image of one of the individuals, that individual on the bridge, if you want to bring that up.
Yeah, 1 second. And then I want
definitely that guy that disarmed the terrorist is a hero, because
absolute legend.
The guts that it takes to stand up during that time and protect your fellow man when someone is armed in that way.
Yeah.
So that's one of the individuals.
That's the one that shot the other guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, from that, definitely, I would say of Middle Eastern appearance. And obviously, the intent in all the videos is terroristic.
Hold on, I'm going to just try. I want to see if where was that? Let's just see if we got. Just want to go back and listen to. Where was it?
So someone's asking in the comments, from what the lady says, there was police presence there, but they were unarmed.
They were unarmed. Security group. There was no police. There was no police,
but whoever was there was unarmed. Yes. And for an armed response, she is saying, I believe, again, from what she understood, it took around 45 minutes. Now, again, a lot of this will come out later on, and we'll obviously get a timeline of this. There was going to be a lot of accountability around this. This is a major horrific shooting, terror attack on Australian soil. And every little piece of information surrounding this, how it was planned, what happened on the day, the police response, every single detail, no doubt, will be fully investigated in the fullness of time. But for now, obviously, we'll bring you things as information as it comes in. Sometimes in these type of incidents, some of the information you have to take it in a speculative nature, what people are saying, and their understanding of the situation as it is. But in the fullness of time, we'll definitely have a exact and more clearer picture. But for now, we'll bring you live updates on what people are saying from on the ground and the response of authorities, and any other press conferences that we see. We'll bring you live coverage of that as well as we go with this live stream update.
Yeah, let's have a listen again to what, because I don't think anyone else is running witness testimony like that.
A live witness testimony.
Let's have a listen to it. I know that all the Israeli media is messaging me now, trying to get a hold of this. So let's just run it again, because I think it is important to actually hear what's going on. We're just going to turn up the sound.
What happened?
Just from the footage that's floating around online, there is footage of people holding these
either
people
at
down.
the festival or down at the beach.
Again, it's not 100% confirmed.
They heard shooting, and then obviously the word travelled quite fast, and so they just ran for their lives.
Oh, sorry.
As I mentioned, one of my friends was at the festival.
So what exactly happened? You were there for the Chanukah event.
The Chanukah, I go every year to the Chanukah in Bondi Beach. You know Bondi Beach. I live not just by, and I go every year. On this year I went. It was in 5 o'clock, and it happened, I think, in 6:30. I'm not sure what time it was. And suddenly I was sitting laughing with my friend. Suddenly I heard some gun. No, I thought it's like, that
fireworks.
Firework. Sorry, I'm Israeli, so firework. So that's what I saw. So then I turned around. I saw 7 Muslims with the beer. I think they're religious. Yeah. With women like the M16, you know, the gun. It's not a gun. It's the gun. The M16.
M16, the rifle.
Everyone, all Bondi Beach ran away. Not just that, but everyone in Bondi Beach ran away. But we are stuck there because a lot died. They are injured. A lot of injured. A little girl died near me. Another couple died. Everyone that was near me died.
How did you get away?
I was waiting, you know, Protestant died. A rabbi he was near me, covered me. I think he was like, and I put something on me. I couldn't breathe. They said not to talk, not to breathe for 45 minutes. And the shooting didn't stop. Someone called the police. In the moment he called the police, he died. They killed him. So someone else tried on the police come just after 45 minutes. They didn't know, they're screaming, they don't know what they're doing. And I stand up, I was so scared, on the shock to see all the kids, babies, kids dead.
So you're saying more than one, because right now they're reporting one child dead. How many people did you see, and you saw more than one child?
There was a lot of them was bleeding.
Yeah.
On collapse. The bleeding in the head on collapse. So the police become ambulance. A lot of ambulance. A lot of them that was dead, they covered them. So I saw a lot covered them.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I don't know how I survived, I'll be honest with you, because everyone near me dead. And when the police comes, they said, you can stand up. I was so scared. I'm in shock. I live alone. My son is in Israel. My daughter in Israel. One in Melbourne. I don't know if you know her family, Brava. She lives in Melbourne.
Yeah.
She called me all the time because I sent her a video. I got a video. You can see the video before it happened.
Where they were just doing the Chanukah event. How far into the Chanukah?
The video I was just doing, was laughing on that. I couldn't believe it. The shooting was like every time they shoot, they say Allahu Akbar.
What was that they were saying?
Every time they were shooting, they were screaming Allahu Akbar.
Avi, I thought I'm going to die. And I say Shema Israel. The rabbi says Shema Israel. Everyone was bleeding in the head. They come, the ambulance comes, they start covering people. So I didn't know. I was so shocked. I wanted to go out. I ran away. And the police said to me, they can be everywhere. So I started panicking more because a lot of them. And there was, you know, in Bondi Beach, Bondi Beach?
Yes,
I live in Bondi Beach,
yes.
But you know what you did? It's some stairs, a stair. You know, like a stair that you can go down. They were standing up near us in the stairs and shooting. On the police, 45 minutes, I couldn't believe it. The police just next door to us. The police next door in Bondi Beach.
And it took them 45 minutes. You're saying it took 45 minutes for police to arrive.
Listen, Avi, they didn't give us a police. They said, we are safe, you are safe. They said to the CAG, you are safe. No one. It was no police. CSG doesn't have a gun. How is they going to protect us? The CSG was in the floor also.
This is shocking. All right.
Yeah,
I hope.
What CSGs like us, they don't know. They didn't do the army. I don't know. They don't know nothing.
What's
Oh my God, Avi, I don't want to stay in Australia. After what I experienced going back to Israel, I'll be honest with you, I saw the police here, they don't care, the government doesn't care. What's happened? It's all over the world. I can't believe it, and I never saw a dead person. Now I saw a lot of dead. Little girl. She was screaming, they saw her screaming, they killed her, and she stopped and knew that she died.
So how long have you been in Australia?
For a certain, My son came here when he's 38 years. I know your mom from here. Your mom from Sydney, is it? No, Melbourne?
My mom's from Israel, but my father's from Sydney, yeah.
But she was a friend with Leah Bahar.
Yes, I know Leia. Yeah.
But is your mom used to live in Sydney or Melbourne?
Yeah. They lived in Sydney for a year and then they moved to Melbourne. Yeah.
I know your mom. I used to see her in school everywhere.
So but you're telling me now that's it. You're going back to Israel because you feel like this is what.
Don't say that for my safety. Don't say that. Don't say that I want to go back to Israel, because I don't know who can hear that, But I'm so disappointed about Australia. We shouldn't stay here at Avi. My son is a private investigation here, and that's what he want to do. He want to live in Israel after what's happened. It can happen to everyone. They can come kill us for a wedding. What's happened? Bondi Beach, that it's popular. Everyone need to be a police. No security, no nothing. They can, this government, they bring Hamas to Australia. They bring Hamas, Palestinians, they bring all these people to Australia. We can't stay here anymore. We can't.
I'm so sorry. What?
If you see Bondi Beach is all Bondi is closed. Just police, helicopter, everything. But people died already. What is going to help?
Have you got somebody there today to be with?
Yeah, I'm alone. And Israel, they knew about that, and they called me. My son called me. He's in a Miluim. My son is in a Miluim. Yeah. He called me and he said to me, I'm calling the ambulance because they need to check your blood pressure, because I'm 68, They need to check your blood pressure. They need to check. I said, I don't want anyone. I'm in shock. I don't know if I need someone. I don't know if I need ambulance. Everyone's so cold in Australia. Everyone's so cold. The police said to me, every time when it's an event in Australia, Jewish event, things like that, it's happened with a big smile.
So,
I felt like to kill her.
Please let somebody come and see you and see that you're okay and take your blood pressure.
The ambulance, they're all going. I'm sick of the going.
But see, just let your son know. We're going to let you off the line here, but make sure you're okay, because what you've experienced tonight is a shocking situation.
The singer will call Hatzalah.
Call Hatzalah or call or if you or message. I'll message somebody to make sure that they can check in on you.
Yeah, maybe Hatzalah to check my blood pressure. I'm not well, How I'm going to sleep? I never saw dead people, and I saw them now. Even I was in the army, I didn't see dead people like now.
You're saying to me, in the army in Israel, you didn't see that bad people that you saw in Sydney and Bondi tonight?
No. That time when I did the army, it was like a long time ago. It was not bad like now.
Yeah.
I didn't see, like face to face, like someone. What you mean? I didn't see like someone that is really in life, near you, friend, talking to you on dead.
Yeah.
This a moment. I never saw that.
Was there somebody that you knew there that was killed that you know was?
All my friends. One of them died. Actually, one of them, I think she's in Jericho. I didn't know. She was bleeding. Her son died in the Lebanon war. You know her? She's from Sydney. She's a friend of mine. She died.
Yeah, that gives you a sense. So I've got a few more people that are right now. To be honest, I'll be straight up honest with you, because my sister, my sister is her husband is a rabbi of a major synagogue in that area, and her house is full of people that were there right now.
Yeah.
And I
just want to quickly unpack some of what she said. So I was listening to the second time around. So she was saying they were lying, and she was lying there on the floor pretending to be dead. for some time before the police arrived. So that kind of gives you an understanding of what she's saying when the police took a long time to arrive. It appears as though the gunman had free reign, from what this individual saying, to shoot at the members of the public who were, not defended by anyone that was there. They were playing dead, keeping quiet while these shots were firing out, and then at some point the police arrived to help this individual. She's saying 45 minutes. We don't know exactly.
Who knows? You never know, because obviously the stress around being in a scenario like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can hear
Exactly.
I realized halfway through that conversation with her that she was in absolute shock, as you would be.
Yeah.
If you comprehend what she's saying, she was there with her friends that she was just talking to, and she said everyone around her was dead.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how she got out of that. So I'll see if we can get other people that had witnessed what happened, but it might be quite difficult. My phone is going off at the moment.
Look, I mean, no other media is really covering it in this way at the moment in terms of getting this kind of from down on the ground from people that were there, as far as I've seen. So if we do get more people live, that'd obviously be valuable in terms of understanding what happened.
That's what I'm trying to get. Let's tune in. So apparently the Prime Minister now has weighed in, saying it's distressing scenes coming out of Sydney, which is an understatement, but yes. And you know what? A lot of this I lay at the feet of the government completely, but I don't know why I'm not getting any sound from that, so give me a second. See what they're saying the updates are, but I think I'm getting more real live updates from the Jewish groups, although I think it's going to slow down, I imagine, because apparently there's been explosive found. I don't know if that's
there's a lot of coverage, a lot of things coming out right now. This is a major breaking story all around the world. As of right now, all the major networks are reporting on this, and world leaders are already commenting on this. So this is a major global incident in terms of the significance of something like this, Avi.
Once we get a grasp of the...
Yeah, so you said
down here at Bondi, those details will start to firm up as we head into the evening and later.
So there's 10 confirmed dead.
The coming days.
And multiple injured. This is what they're saying at the Bondi shooting. They're calling it a shooting. They're not calling it a terrorist attack yet, where it is quite obviously a terrorist attack, according to our witness.
She did say that they were yelling out religiously motivated slogans while doing the act as well, according to the witness testimony there that we had on the phone.
10 police officers. It's still just many people out there. Still hard to wrap your head around what's happened there this afternoon with these horrific scenes. It's still ongoing. Daniel Silva Gonzalez arrived at the beach as the first shots rang out. He saw the two gunmen. He joins us now. Daniel, tell us what you saw.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I was on the beach with my Brazilian friend. We are from Brazil. It was just take a sand and everything. When the shot started, I heard 2 shots and a lot of people running. When I heard 2 shots, I screamed and I say, "Run! It's dangerous!" But no one believed in me. And after after the sequences, everyone started running. Everyone was running to catch a bus, but the bus didn't open the door because it was with a lot of people. And then was 2 men on the bridge shooting people when it was like in a little party. Was kids, everyone was there. And I was just next to the shots. But when I heard 2 shots, I started to run because I knew it was... I saw 2 men was on the bridge, started shooting people. And after 2 minutes, maybe 5 cars of police office was coming to the beach and trying to save the people because there was a lot of people on the sand, on the ground, trying to scream help everything. And after maybe 5 minutes was a helicopter on the sky. A lot of people starting running too. And we couldn't call Uber to get out from the beach because the Uber was not working and the bus, nothing. And then me and my friend, we went to next to the police officer because it was safer to stay there and get off because they said it was another shot just out to the beach, and we went to stay safe. So you wait like 30 minutes, and after when it was like looked like safe, we got off from the beach and walked maybe 25 minutes to
I sent you another link.
Junction, and that's it. I saw a lot of people on the floor, kids crying, with looking for their mom, and they couldn't find. A lot of people crying, run, and trying to save people. The tourist was trying to help also. So everyone helping.
And Daniel, about how far away were you from the gunmen when they were firing and when you hid from
Avi,
them?
check your email.
Yeah, we'll do now. My sister
I sent you an email of a rabbi's been confirmed dead.
My sister just sent me a message. Her friend's brother has been killed. That's another sister.
Oh,
I have two sisters. I'm telling you, this is a huge event. And you know, it was sadly so expected. We've been warning about this, and you have every loser on the internet acting like the Jews have been crying, and I'm sure by now the same characters.
Well, I've already seen people saying false flag.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's already started.
Yeah,
which is sick and disgusting. That this is how people react to these kind of scenarios. It's just twisted.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some gruesome like people have taken like selfies, afraid they're going to die. There's a man. I don't know if you've seen this particular photo. We can't bring it up on the stream.
No, I'm not going to bring it up. The one, even the one that you gave me, it's here.
The one I gave you. The one I gave you is fine. The rabbi. It was just the news of the rabbi being confirmed dead.
No, you gave me the clothing with the blood in it. I think that'll.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the graphic images.
Mind you, I don't know how much of this. Like, I don't know. It's probably all going to get blocked anyways. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's the rabbi. That's my sister's. My sister's friends. Yeah, that's him.
And one to the Prince of Wales. Police say a suspected improvised explosive device has been located, with the bomb squad being brought in for further investigation. That's new news just in. We have reporters who are all over the scene who've been joining us in recent hours. Joe O'Brien, one of our News Channel presenters, also here in the studio with me. Joe, you've been having some visceral reactions to some of the footage that's been coming in as someone who regularly attends Bondi Beach.
Yeah, and just on the way here before, there was just this real sense of emergency through the streets of Sydney, not just down at Bondi Beach. There was a ambulance that whizzed past me on Darlinghurst Road with its sirens blaring. There was a police car that sped through an intersection on Oxford Street, nearly had a crash there, and then another car with its sirens blaring. There was another police car racing through George Street. Tram had to stop for it to get through. So just, yeah, throughout Sydney this evening, there is this sense of urgency, and now this sense of disbelief and heartbreak that 9 people have been killed by these gunmen who are standing.
So now they're saying 9, although it's interesting because he's saying 9, but they're on
our
the
reporters who have been joining
10,
us have these idyllic
10.
sunsets behind them, and that's the type of place Bondi Beach usually is. It's the kind of place where people enjoy watching the sun going down, going for a surf, having a picnic.
I think unfortunately the death toll is going to be higher.
It's going to be higher
as these unfold.
It's frustrating.
It does look like a lot of people were taken in the ambulances with gunshot wounds to the hospitals, and I'm sure they're being worked on. And we pray for them to come out of this alive, of course. But usually in these type of events, as it unfolds, based on the casualties that we know now from the news and what we're hearing, it wouldn't surprise me if that death toll did rise as well, because it does sound that a lot of people were shot point blank, even at very close range, by some of these terrorists. From what I'm seeing online, there's horrific descriptions of children being shot in the face. Now, all of this, of course, is online, and there's no full confirmation of this. So I just say this each time I say these things as it's coming live, but horrific, just a disgrace.
So it was the synagogue that was doing the event there was the like the Russian synagogue. So for people outside of the Jewish community, there's like every community, there's different groups and there's different synagogues. There's many synagogues in that particular area, and one synagogue, just like in Melbourne, you have like a Russian Jewish community. And that event tonight on Bondi Beach was the Russian Jewish community, from what I understand, in Sydney. And it is frustrating for me to hear the ABC talking about it as in, oh, this is just a time in which the beach is full of people looking at the sunset, when no, it was literally a targeted attack at a Chanukah event. And the victims that we're seeing coming through are all Jews that were targeted for one simple fact, because they were Jewish. And I know it's hard for the ABC to say that because it goes against their narrative, but they're part of this story. They're part of the reason. That's why I confronted the ABC reporter in Hostage Square on that day of the release of the live hostages, because they have contributed to this environment that has made people empowered these terrorists to stand up and go to Bondi, to travel to Bondi and start shooting random Jews.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people have a lot to answer for, particularly those in leadership within the Labor government, within the Greens. We have seen a lot of them stand by idly as a lot of this rhetoric has been unfolding. Obviously, Avi, yourself and me, we have been warning about the impacts of this, and many a times we have said this all ends in the death of Jewish Australians, the way that things are going. And to see this is at the worst possible case scenario of anything that we could imagine in our country. To see this type of terror attack in Australia, it is going to terrify people. Like that lady was obviously terrified. And again, back to the ABC's point, yes, it may have been targeted at a Jewish event, in Hanukkah, but there are bystanders there as well. It's targeting all Australians. It's targeting everyone that goes out to these peaceful events. It does appear these people are firing indiscriminately into the crowd as well, and this is an attack on all of Australia and our way of life. Let's not try to couch this in anything else. This is an direct attack on Australia and our way of life, the peace that we have and that we enjoy. The fact that we do live with each other, a lot of different people, and we try to live in peace with certain values that we adhere to. And it goes to a lot of problems that we've been discussing over the past few years, whether it's related to this particular conflict that's happened overseas, as well as the issues in Australia when we have people that don't assimilate or that have different ideas about how to carry on their particular grievances in this country. And to think that this type of targeted terror attack, which has been planned, it seems, we have recent reports the police have found explosive devices which they're investigating with the bomb squad. So this is not a random attack. This is something that's been meticulously planned and carried out on this particular day. And to think that we have these kind of people amongst us in this country, if there's this particular group, I would want, of course, our authorities, ASIO and the police, to leave no stone unturned, finding out who these people are known to, if there's any networks associated with them, where they attend particular gatherings, perhaps, if they're being radicalized. These are the things that we need to know in Australia, because we cannot have this becoming normalized. It's sick already that this has happened in our country, and if we're not, if we don't deal with this properly, it's just going to be more and more of this. And we've seen over the years, Avi, terror attacks in other parts of the world, in other parts of the West, whether it's in the UK or in America. And we've always kind of felt like a bit distant from that in Australia, like in a little safe bubble. But now it's here. It's here now in our country. It's here in Australia. And this is the disgraceful, disgusting face of this type of terrorism that just targets innocent people going about their lives, practicing their faith or their religious holidays, whatever it is, doing just ordinary things at a beach, one of the most popular beaches in our country. They can't go there without having the prospect of these type of radicalized terrorists turning up there with weapons and bombs to kill them indiscriminately. It is sick and disgusting. And I think a lot of people have a lot to answer for, especially those in leadership, like our Prime Minister.
I'm going to put myself in mute a minute. I'm going to see if I can
put the volume up on this.
Yeah, I'll put the volume up on this, and you
parade, and it's there that they're starting to work through car by car the exact threat that still might be lurking around those areas. So that bomb threat, they're not sure whether the shooters, when they came to Bondi, whether what could be in their vehicles. And so they're now meticulously working through to find out exactly whether it's safe to re-enter or not. So there is an exclusion zone in place around 50 metres circumference, and police are working. We did see some specialised devices be brought in to help with that bomb threat, and there has been some military personnel walking around that I have seen coming and going. So look, it's very much still a lively scene down here, and the wind has started to pick up quite dramatically. I mean, we had a light stand up that was blown over, so the conditions are starting to get a little bit worse as we head into this evening.
Thanks very much,
still
Digby.
continue to bring you updates.
Thanks very much. We'll come back to you. We're just going to bring in Marley Carroll. Marley, can you hear us there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Marley. You're one of the people who's been caught up in this event this afternoon. Can you tell us about what you've just lived through?
It was just like any Sunday arvo really at Bondi. There was just plenty of people down there, families, and it was a hot arvo. And I was walking back to South Bondi, back to our apartment, and we were near the grass area, and we heard, I think it was 2 shots at first, and everyone looked back. It came from North Bondi. Everyone looked back, and at first I thought, it's nothing to worry about, because you just wouldn't think something like that happening in Sydney. And then we just saw a rush of people run towards us coming from North Bondi. They were running away from the shooter to us. And that's when we realised everyone around us was just running, and people were running on the roads, car horns going off, people were crying. And I recall a group of girls running past us saying, he's shooting people. And that's just when it clicked that, like, it's actually happening. You just wouldn't think something like that to happen in Bondi, Sydney, out of all places. It was just surreal.
Oh, it sounds it, Marley. Can you talk us through what you're thinking as you're seeing all of this stuff? Were you able to think at all, or were you just concerned for your own safety?
Yeah, like, I knew I was far away from the shooters. I just couldn't, I just didn't believe it. It was just, you see this stuff happening overseas, and, I've seen videos of mass shootings and how the crowd reacts, and to see it happening in real time. Restaurants were opening their doors and getting crammed with people, and the hostels along Campbell Avenue, they were just opening their doors to everyone. The buses were jam-packed, people trying to squeeze in and just running for their lives. It was surreal. I just couldn't believe it, really.
And so, Marley, you're a Bondi local. As you say, you've never seen this place like that. This is an event that you never expected to live through. What was happening? You've sort of described what was happening immediately as that shooting was happening, but what happened in the moments afterwards, the minutes and hours afterwards?
People were I was up on the south side of Bondi, up on the hill overlooking Bondi, just trying to get a glimpse of what was happening. We just saw everybody's bags and towels left on the beach. There was one of the lifeguard buggies. There was about a line of 20 people behind the buggy taking cover of where the shooter was, and people were it was just small talk between people saying, the shots were still going off. This was 10 minutes after the first shot, and we could still hear it from the south end, shots going off, and we were just saying, is this really happening? No one could believe it, honestly.
And Marley, we've heard from some of our reporters who say that.
So it's you're hearing now from a witness that was a distant from it, and compare it to. So it actually makes me believe the woman's version. Maybe not 45 minutes, but he's saying 10 minutes there was shooting going on. Imagine
I mean, in that moment, it could feel like a lot longer for the people there, for sure.
Yeah, so we're just gonna we'll play that I think again because I don't think anyone has a eyewitness account like we've actually put here. So I think we'll play that again at some point. I'm just getting Benji to pull it on its own so we can just put it up on its own. But it's I'm concerned about what numbers we're really looking at when you hear somebody saying 10 minutes there was still shooting going on, and you're telling me that there's at this point we've got 10 confirmed dead.
That's a concern, and I think we will have. I don't know how long we'll keep the stream going, but I do believe we should definitely be hearing from. I would be surprised not to hear from some of our leaders tonight. Confirming more of this information. I would be shocked if they did not speak to the public tonight, because obviously a lot of people are very distressed about what's unfolding here on a Sunday. Just start of the Sunday holiday period here. For many people who are religious, whether it's Christmas, Chanukah, whatever it is, and just people just going about their lives. People are out and about in public, and we're getting into the holiday season as well. So a lot of people out there with their children and families, and I'm sure people would be on edge seeing this unfolding in this country, in our beautiful country. So,
crowd of people celebrating Hanukkah. This, as you've heard there from that witness, just then. It felt like it went on for about 10 minutes. The terrible news that's just come through in the last 15 minutes or so, 10 people dead, including one of the gunmen. 12 people injured, including 2 police officers. And scenes of heartbreak and devastation there at Bondi this afternoon, with people shot and injured. A massive response from emergency services to try to address the situation. One of the gunmen shot dead, the other in custody. Police say there were concerns there was possibly an explosive device planted in the area as well. They've said they've come across what may be a device that they're taking a look at now. They're asking people to stay away from the area. We're seeing vision of a man in a white t-shirt.
I've got a 13-year-old who was there.
Okay.
He's going to talk to us shortly as well.
Yep.
And this is happening while the other gunman is still up on the bridge about 50 metres away and ends up firing at this man dressed in, we don't know if he's a civilian or a plainclothes police officer, but there's someone else kind of throwing, might see it soon, kind of throws something at this man as well.
I'll do it the same as we did before. I think it works all right. Just putting him on loudspeaker.
While this other gunman is up on the bridge. So the terrible news in the wake of this, 10 people dead, including one of the gunmen, and 12 people injured. We have not heard a major media conference from authorities just yet. We just heard from our reporter that we're expecting that in about 20 minutes. So we'll bring you that live here on the news channel. Just repeating that because that'll be a key moment in information on this coming through, that major media conference happening in about 20 minutes. We'll bring you that live.
Okay, 20 minutes.
On the ABC News channel.
That's from... Who's talking in 20 minutes? Sorry, I'm just...
I think the police, the major media conference.
Unbelievable what's unfolded there this
afternoon. So just hearing online, the shooters' homes have been raided by the police as well.
With my colleagues, as you can see behind me, this is one part of the scene, but I'm just going to turn around and show you, if you can just see through past those bus signs there, that park area, that playground area, is where this all unfolded this evening. There are obviously a lot of police still there, and a lot of the media are being kept back. We've been here for some time. When I arrived this afternoon, there were still people about. The public was still standing around in shock, and it was a scene of utter chaos in that playground. There were people on the ground. There were lots of witnesses helping police, obviously, ambulance. There were still police and ambulance streaming into the area as well. Eventually, police managed to get a lot of the crowd back. There were hundreds of people at Bondi. It was a really hot day today. They eventually got the crowd back and away from the area. We know that it's been obviously a distressing time for the public, but there were police officers with tears in their eyes, telling me to move on. I've spoken to witnesses who said that, as you described it, like the 10 minutes of hell, it was just utterly extraordinary.
And have most people cleared out from the area now? Because we've heard from police just in the last 10 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes, that there is concern that there may be, that they've come across what's suspected to be an explosive device. Have people generally cleared the area?
Yes, they have. There are a few people hanging around. Obviously, a few of the media are still here, and a few members of the public. A lot of police, a lot of ambulance officers. As you can see behind me, it is mostly clear of the public, though. There's just a life-saving headquarters here, Surf Life-Saving Club. I've seen lots of the lifesavers be part of this effort as well. They were obviously the first on the scene. This is their building, and they were just meters away when this happened. I've seen some of the surf lifesavers hosing down, cleaning blood off their boards this evening. So extraordinarily harrowing for them, as well as the general public who've been here, who just witnessed something. I think one of the earlier guests said that just does not happen in this country.
Yeah. Okay, Isabel Rowe reporting there from North Bondi. And just repeating once again that we're expecting that key media conference from police in about 15 minutes, and we'll bring you that live here on the news channel.
What we know so far, 10 people are dead, including one gunman. After a shooting at Bondi Beach this afternoon, a second shooter remains in police custody. 12 people were injured and have been taken to various hospitals. 2 police officers were also injured. Emergency services remain at the scene, but police have confirmed there is no active threat to the public. But police are reiterating that people should stay away from Bondi Beach despite the 2 shooters having been neutralised. There is an ongoing bomb threat in the area, police say, and they are working to disarm what they've described as an IED, or improvised explosive device. We've got a number of reporters who have been at the scene giving us their first-hand recounts of what they're seeing, stories from people on the ground. We've heard some harrowing details, people describing this as hell on earth. We heard that there was a Jewish event, a Hanukkah event happening at a playground that was underway at the time of the shooting. We've seen vision of gunmen being knocked to the ground by people in normal clothes. We don't know if that is a plainclothes police officer or a member of the public. We're waiting for this press conference in 15 minutes to have these details confirmed by authorities. We have reporters all over the place, including outside St Vincent's Hospital in Darlinghurst. Now, this is a location where 6 people have been taken. We're going to go live now to Jeremy, who is there at the hospital. Jez, what can you tell us about the scene there at St Vincent's Hospital?
Isabella, St Vincent's Hospital is only about 6 kilometres from Bondi Beach, the scene of that shooting. This is the closest hospital in metropolitan Sydney to that area. This is where the largest number of people who've been shot have been brought. We understand that a number of others, 10 others, have been taken to hospitals right across metropolitan Sydney, from the Prince of Wales Hospital, Sydney Children's Hospital, Westmead Children's Hospital, along with St George and RPA. Now, what we know is that a number of staff here have been called in because of the surge of patients this evening. This area is only a short distance, of course, from where the Bondi Junction stabbings took place in April of last year. We understand that while the patients have been brought here, we don't know the condition of those patients, so we're waiting to hear about that. There is a media contingent here. We've seen in the last 45 minutes or so a number of ambulances arrive under police escort, and after that a number of police vehicles arriving with people rushing in. We don't know what their association is to those people who are in the hospital. We are waiting for updates on their conditions now.
And Jez, it sounds like just standing outside that hospital, you do get a sense of the emergency that is unfolded in Sydney this afternoon.
Absolutely, Isabella. Look, I mean, the people are just absolutely struck by this evening. I was on air with the 7 p.m. news in New South Wales as this story broke, and I can tell you the feeling in the newsroom was one of familiarity, that this has happened only a short time ago, that the city was quite struck by the Bondi Junction stabbings, and here we are just before Christmas with this happening. And so, yeah, it really has captured the city. There are people texting left, right and centre, checking that being a Sunday morning in Sydney, people are checking on each other, making sure that, you know, those they know who live in the area, who go to Bondi Beach, who enjoy a Sunday morning in the water, are safe this evening.
Jez, as you say, this is a community that has been traumatised before. Many people on edge waiting for more news. Thank you so much for those updates outside St Vincent's Hospital. We're just going to move back to our reporter Digby Worthmuller, who is at Bondi Beach. He is at that scene where there was a shooting earlier today. Digby, we understand you've got someone there who has witnessed what's happened today.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just here at the exclusion zone here in Bondi, and I'm speaking here with Finn. Now, Finn, you were down at Bondi at the time this all happened. Now, just through what you saw, can you just run me through what exactly you saw?
So my apartment's on Campbell, where it all was happening. And at the time, I was currently on FaceTime with my family from back home in London. And I just heard a few fireworks going off. That's what it sounded like anyway. So I sort of took my mum to have a look, see what was going on, almost show her the view in a way. And the next thing you know, I saw a white car with a guy shooting, firing from his car. And then I saw, there was an older lady who was killed. They've got on the left-hand side. So I just didn't know what to do. And my parents were saying, on call, take cover, take cover, take cover. So everyone ran in. So I ran over to my bedroom. And where my apartment block is, the security isn't great. The locks aren't amazing. So I didn't know where to hide, and I can't go into my bed, so I went in my wardrobe, shut the door, and I just kept hearing gunshots going off and off and off. So I was trying to just let all the time go and try and see when it was good to go, but every time I opened my wardrobe, what it felt like was never gunshot going off. And then I just heard sirens, and then I was just trying to wait for some key signals to be able to leave my wardrobe in a way, to go out into my living room, to be able to have a little view to see if there was anything else happening or if it had died down. But yeah.
And when you heard those shots ring out, what was your sort of immediate reaction? Was everyone in the area sort of a bit shocked, surprised?
So I initially was just shocked. I didn't know what was going on. So as I said, I was on my sofa, and I just heard what sounded like fireworks. So I just went to the lift of my blind up, and I saw a guy letting off shots. And there was a few people on the floor. And then I just saw people running towards my way and then running up the street and down the other side of the street, and people just screaming. So I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? And obviously my mind wasn't really processing everything. So I just heard my parents say, just take cover, and everyone was screaming, and it's a very, very scary situation.
And when did you then leave the house, or did you sort of stay in the house and watch it all unfold? Because you live right on that road that connects with the block of buildings, Campbell Parade, and then the beach. And so when did you leave the building?
So I didn't know what to do, because obviously I was on my own. So I was just in my apartment, in my wardrobe for the best part of, I would say, an hour and a half. Just just trying to see what was going on, trying to hear, because where my bedroom is, the window was open, so I could hear certain, they were doing different speeches and things like this to try and give information and stuff like that. So I was trying to hear the best I could. And then after about 2 hours, when it started about 8 o'clock, Cassius, my friend, ran over to mine to basically try and pick me up and take me to his place, so we've just left my house now, on the way to his now.
Yeah. And how much time was it until police and emergency services started to flood in?
I think it was quite quickly, but in my mind it took ages, it took forever, but that was just because I was so shaken up, I didn't know what to do. It took a while for the helicopters to come, because my mum was saying about there should be a helicopter coming soon, and I couldn't hear one for ages, but it came. and it started to settle down after that. But it was, for the first initial, I'd say, good hour was just, it was mayhem outside.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you having a chat with me, Finn, and make sure you go stay with some friends tonight and keep safe, all right? Yeah, no worries. And so that's just the latest from some of the people that have witnessed the tragedy down here on Bondi. 10 people confirmed dead, one of which is the shooter, the other shooter in custody, and 9 civilians have also died. And there's also reports that 12 people were also injured. And police now are just starting to get a gauge on the situation here in regards to a bomb threat, and they're bringing in specialist resources to deal with that bomb threat. And we understand that police will be holding a press conference at 9:30 tonight in Sydney's CBD.
Okay, Digby Worthmiller reporting there from Sydney. So we're expecting that key media conference in about 7 minutes. We'll bring you that live here on the news channel. We understand New South Wales Premier and Police Commissioner will also be there. Our reporters have been speaking to people through the evening. This only happened about 2.5, 3 hours ago. The devastating news that 10 people are dead. Let's hear now from some of the people our reporters have been speaking to.
My housemate here, we were driving to go pick up some house stuff. We literally live 2-minute drive up the road, and we always drive down this way. But we didn't see anything. But as we were driving up down Bondi Road, loads of police, loads of ambulance, that sort of thing. And then our friend rang us, who works in and around the area, and just said what they thought was going on. Obviously, just really, really scary, really scary. And pretty speechless, to be fair, pretty speechless.
It's a very sad day for Australia, man. I've been in the country for 31 years. I never believed basically that could have happened like that, something like that in Australia. But obviously, there's no place safe on earth at the moment. So, God bless to the injured. My daughter's grandfather was shot I just got the news now. They got shot on a leg. He survived it. He's in a hospital now. Wish him a fast recovery.
There were just some witness accounts from people who are at Bondi Beach this afternoon. Our reporter Nick Dole has also spoken to another family. They were attending a bar mitzvah at Bondi, and they've spoken about the moment of the attack.
As a family at a bar mitzvah for a relative, and it started at 6:30, and at about 6:40 people started screaming, telling us to run inside. So we ran into behind the kitchen, and we were just hiding in a room, and there were lots of children there. Their parents weren't there because this was a kids' party basically, and lots of kids crying. It was really horrible.
How many shots do you think were ringing out?
50, 60. It just didn't stop for it seemed like 20 minutes. Yeah.
And you're inside the bar mitzvah as well?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
What was sort of going through your mind when you heard those bullets ringing out?
Probably just to get somewhere safe because it was very scary. Yeah.
And what about some of your friends who you were with? Were you sort of all together, or did some of you get separated?
A lot of people got separated.
All right. I can't hear you, Avi. Your mic's off.
Sorry. We'll wait for the press conference in a minute. These are all eyewitnesses. ABC is running a lot of eyewitnesses that were in and around the area who weren't actually there. I think for those, I'm just getting Benji to download it, and we'll just upload it on its own so people can actually hear from. I think it's a different story from somebody that was actually there and tells us how everybody around her, the people she was just talking and laughing with, were dead or bleeding out from what she could tell. There's about 7 minutes till the press conference, and then we should have then we'll bring the 13-year-old who was there, so not from the actual who was actually at the event, like our previous. I guess the difference between the people that we're talking to and who you're hearing on ABC, these are eyewitnesses, whether they saw the gunshots, heard gunshots, they were in the area. Where the people we're speaking to were actual survivors of the attack. Yeah. So we'll get that up as a standalone as well. You can rewind in this live. I haven't seen anyone else actually bring those up. And listen, my sister has a house full of them right now. sitting in her house, comforting her, but they're all
in shock, no doubt.
In shock, crying, and there's just so. Obviously, we're not gonna. We want. I really want people to hear the real raw witness testimony of the people that just experienced this horrific attack, to understand what it is and what we've been warning about. The biggest fear that we had over the last couple of years wasn't just, we weren't exaggerating the threat, while so many people were playing it down and calling the community victims and wanted to, the Jews just want to get committing fake false flags against themselves so that they can pass through some stupid No. The reality is that we have let people into our country that want to kill Australia. They hate our way of life. And first they're targeting Jews because everybody, or a big chunk of society, whether it's the far left, the far right, and a big chunk of the Islamic community, have made it okay to target Jews. But don't worry, when they're done with the Jews, these same people that have taken guns to Bondi to shoot at point blank children, I promise you now, if we don't get on top of that now, they are going to turn those guns on every other Aussie that's in their way. And this needs to be, people need to be held accountable for this, but also we need to make a real change.
Yeah, no doubt. And, Australians, of course, everyone there is caught up in this. Even if it's targeted, it's an attack on Australia, like I said before. And, we can't normalize this. It's very tragic that this has become normal, having to put it in these terms that we're talking about. We're not looking at something that's happened overseas. We're not looking at a mass casualty event, a terror attack, and observing something that's happened in some other country and saying, oh, well, aren't we lucky to be in Australia? No, this is a modern day Australia now, where we have people, without any humanity, really. If you're talking about indiscriminately shooting towards children here at the beach and just, going for it, it's just disgusting and vile. You kind of don't have the words to describe what these people are and the inhumanity of all of it in terms of what they're doing to our country, doing to Australia. And it's sick, Avi. And yeah, like you said, many of us have been talking about this being the eventual outcome of what we're seeing happening in our country, the rhetoric towards a certain community, very openly by people in politics, by activists and many others. And even left and right, Avi, like there's a lot of people that are involved in creating this hatred of Australians of Jewish background. Even on the right, many people play into these conspiracy theories and try to blame Jews for everything. We've seen that very much on the right side of politics, many commentators as well doing this and joining in on this. But I think all of this plays a part in it because it's almost giving a license for seeing these people as not human and allowing these type of attacks to manifest and be planned out and carried out by these evil individuals. And like you said, we've let many of these people into this country. We've had many people coming in here unvetted. Most recently, we've had Tony Burke, the PM, and the Labor government being involved in this ISIS bride fiasco. Again, people that hate this country, freaking terrorists, that left Australia to join one of the most horrific terror groups we've ever seen in the Middle East, in ISIS, being welcomed back into this country to be, Australians once more after being traitors to this nation. This is what we're dealing with. And a lot of this, I lay at the feet of authorities, to be completely honest. The communities have been let down. And we saw after the synagogue attack in Melbourne, people dismissed that. We had then the leaders going there and, making their usual appearances and not really understanding, I think, what was happening. So all of this is a part of it. Obviously, there'll be a larger introspective look at, what may have led to this. Part of it is, of course, just sick, disgusting, vile terrorists. But there will be a time and place for looking at this even further and understanding how all of this unfolded in our beautiful country. But for now, I think everyone's thoughts and prayers are with, and that doesn't mean much, of course. But of course, our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and those Australians who are tonight fighting for their lives. Those Australians who are at that beach, who are now finding themselves in the hospital, fighting for their lives with gunshot wounds because of these sick, vile terrorists. So, all our what we can do, I guess, is pray for these people and pray for our country tonight, because Australia does feel changed. A lot of things have happened over the last couple of years that have we've all felt Australia's changed a little bit, and this is just another one of those things where our country's different. It's not the same anymore, and that's not in a good way. It's in a really bad way, and if it's not taken care of in a meaningful way, if it's just all empty platitudes and nonsense from our leaders when it comes to dealing with these issues, then we're just going to see more of this, and more Australians are going to be put in harm's way with these type of individuals now feeling able to do this type of attack in Australia. No shame, just nothing, Avi. Like, these people in this country who have come here many times for a better life in Australia have now turned their weapons on Australia and are terrorizing us. I don't know if you can see, Avi, they're getting ready for the press conference there, so that'll probably give us a lot more information.
I don't know what I've done to the sound. I don't know what thing I've turned what sound off, but I'll get it sorted.
I'll just see what the latest updates are from the media as well, and I'll bring you any kind of updates that we're seeing.
We'll interview that
young man.
Child. Well, it's a child, a 13-year-old, after the press conference, who was actually there, and we'll also upload that.
So there's been just some updates while you're getting that ready, Avi. So there's been obviously the Chanukah events in Victoria have been cancelled for today by the Jewish leaders here in the community leaders, and there has been no change in threat level in Victoria, because the fear is this seemed like a pre-planned, coordinated event. There were obviously fears of explosive devices as well. The police
they're saying that there still is now. They're saying that there are.
It's ongoing. Exactly, it's ongoing.
They're saying that there are explosive or suspected explosive devices there that have just not been detonated. So obviously the bomb squad is trying to deal with that.
As we speak, police are raiding the addresses of the people that they've apprehended, shot the terrorists. That is, one was shot dead, allegedly, apparently, and one was captured alive. Their homes are being raided, as far as I understand from the press reporting, which is good, because we want to understand the full picture here. We want to get all the information about these people, these terrorists, these sick individuals. We want to find out all the information about them, whatever networks they have, whatever information the police needs to get to find out who these people have been maybe discussing this with, if there's more people involved. It doesn't appear like it's a lone wolf attack when you have more than one person in this type of attack doing this attack. Now, the person on the phone with us said that she thought there was multiple people. Again, in the situation, we don't know, again, what she's interpreting from what she's seeing. But at least from the video footage that we've seen being going around, we can confirm there was at least 2 people so far involved in this attack, heavily armed individuals shooting indiscriminately into people at Bondi Beach, specifically, as we understand, towards the Chanukah event that was happening on the beach there. So there are some other things online, guys. There's the names of the individual licenses going around as well of the shooter. I won't name these things because, again, it's all up in the air. We'll wait for full confirmation before doing this. You can go on X and maybe have a look if you want to see this. But there is a driver's license floating around saying it's allegedly belongs to one of the terror suspects. So we're just waiting here for the press conference from authorities.
Let's turn this up.
For minutes. Catherine, have we got you there?
Yeah.
Catherine, explain to us what you saw, what you heard.
Well, I was walking along the beach, which is one of my favourite things to do, and then everyone was just running, and there were bullets, and there were so many of them, and we were really scared. We didn't know where they were coming from.
I'm sorry, Catherine. I know it's really hard what you've been through.
But I'm thoroughly guilty guilty because it wasn't even right where those poor people were. But we just didn't know. And we were just running, and I was thinking, we're not going to hide. So we didn't know whether to go up toward the icebergs or whether to hide in the bushes and behind the rocks. And there were people who didn't speak English, and they were crying, and I was so scared. Because it sounds silly, but we thought maybe someone had taken one of those surf life-saving buggy things, and they were just driving around the beach shooting people. We just didn't know, and there was so many bullets. And I just call my son. He's just a teenager, and I just was like, what's happening? We don't know what's happening. Anyway, after a while, finally the police came. There was sirens.
After a while, it's the same story.
We thought maybe we were safe, but then all these people started running from another direction, from the icebergs coming down to our spot, and we didn't know if there was another gun person coming from another direction. And then eventually things quietened down. There was a lot of gun smoke, but we knew, I guess, we could start to come out and then go from there. And, then we started to realize what had actually happened. So, yeah, it was just really sad.
And Catherine, your tears and your emotion just capture how monumental this event is, how deeply upsetting and catastrophic it is for people from this community who would never expect something like this to happen. Can you think about what you were feeling in those moments, or were you just racing to survive and to get away or to help others?
I think, we all weren't really, we just were all terrified and trying to think of a place to hide. And my son and his dad, and were just trying to just telling me to stay calm, and they were trying to figure out what was happening. And then I called my old boyfriend, and he was trying to figure out what was happening. And I think it was handy to have a phone, because then the people I called were just saying, just don't move, just stay. And I was like, okay, stay. But I guess I thought about those poor people in Bondi Junction that died or that were running in fear, and people around the world who live with this every day. And I don't know, Bondi is just such a special place to me. I always walk on the water if I feel good, if I don't feel good, and I take millions of boring photos all the time of Bondi and the sun setting, and it was the most perfect day. And then this happened. It was just awful. It was awful. And then realizing there's children are hurt. Like, fuck. It's just awful.
And Catherine, it's obviously difficult to keep track of time in a situation like this, but have you got any idea about how long it felt like it went on for?
I felt like there was 10 minutes of shooting.
Yeah, that's what everyone seems to be saying.
Yeah, and then it was really good when you finally started to hear police cars, but even when you heard police sirens, it felt like there was still a lot of shooting going on. And it was just so good when it finally stopped, because, yeah, I know we're so lucky, the people that I was with, that we weren't right in that spot, but we just didn't know. And I guess we didn't know what was happening. Yeah. So when it finally got quiet, but there was the smell of the gunpowder, I guess. It was so much, So it's so sad for that community. It's such a special place, and I just feel really I feel like I won't want to go there anymore.
Yeah, it's obviously going to have a massive impact on the friends and relatives of the people who died, but so many other people as well.
Yeah, and I feel for all the people celebrating Hanukkah. It's just awful. Anyway.
Okay, Catherine Merchant, thanks for talking to us and stay safe.
Okay.
So we're waiting for this key media conference. There's been this horrific event in Bondi this afternoon. From one of the witnesses earlier, they thought it began probably about 6:40. This is the pictures that we've seen. This is the bridge just north of, and it's distressing to hear those gunshots. The bridge just north of the Bondi Pavilion that goes over the car park area towards the beach. This is the moment that man, we don't know if he's a plainclothes police officer or a civilian, wrenches the gun off one of the gunmen who was firing into a crowd of people celebrating Hanukkah. Then you see another boy, it looks like it could just be a boy, run up to this gunman and throw a stone at him, or throw something at him. And this is happening while the other gunman is still up on the bridge, and we see shots of him then firing at the other people. And as we've heard from the witnesses, this just went on for such an interminably long period of time, for 10 minutes, that they were apparently, that's what the witnesses say, were firing into this crowd of people celebrating Hanukkah. Police, and we've heard since, 10 people dead, including one of the gunmen, and 12 people injured, including 2 police officers. There were concerns that there was an explosive device, a possibility of an explosive device. Police have since said that they've come across something that is a suspected device that they're checking out at the moment. We haven't had a key media conference. We're expecting that to begin at any moment with the New South Wales Premier and also the Police Commissioner. But this emergency was unfolding not only at Bondi this afternoon, but throughout the streets of Sydney, with sirens going, ambulances ferrying people to hospitals, and just a horrible situation, and something that will scar Sydney for a very, very long time.
I think what's become apparent too, Joe, is just how international this community is. We've heard from witnesses from all over the world, people who'd only been in Australia for a matter of days, people from Brazil, the UK, America, other parts of Europe, and they were caught up in this event. We've heard from people who've just arrived from Europe for what they were hoping was the holiday of a lifetime, and they described sheltering behind cars, having no idea what was happening, being caught up in the frenzy. Heard from some other people who were at the scene who say people were running away but they didn't speak English. Some of those international tourists saying that they never expected something like this to happen on their Australia trip, that they thought Australia was an inherently safe place. And really,
I was just trying to tell you to mute the audio of the news.
For the news?
What they've lived through.
Yeah, just mute that audio.
A number of reporters who have been...
This audio?
Yeah, that's it. Right, perfect. I was going to give some updates from the news because it's like these guys are just repeating the same thing over and over.
Yeah. I'm just...
So there's reports of angry people in Sydney because the address of the individual's gone up online, and he's been named by the ABC, I believe, as well. I won't name him yet. I'll just confirm that. But the Daily Telegraph has also shared this individual's license, and there's already a license of this individual that's been leaked online. So news is reporting that people in Sydney are driving past the house of the person, and there's people everywhere near the house yelling at the house. So a lot of people have actually turned up at the house of the shooter as well. And there is a police raid happening there as well. So lots of people in Sydney, obviously very angry. So raw emotion there on the ground of people turning up to the house of the shooter as the address was leaked not leaked online, but put online with the license being shared. So that's happened. We've also got the Russian Jewish community. Can I ask you
something? If I just play this, can you hear this? I just want to hear. I'm just checking that. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You can hear it when I play it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, go on.
We've got the Russian Jewish community involved in shooting. So a source from the Australian Russian Jewish community has said that the Bondi Chanukah event hit by the gunfire was a Russian Shabbat celebration. All killed and injured are from our community, the source wrote. One little girl, a beautiful little girl, is seriously injured, battling for her life. Mom asks, please pray in any way that you can. So there's more confirmation from people in the community there. So Russian Jewish community saying it was an event that was being organized by their particular Chabad.
Chabad, yeah.
Chabad, yeah. And we've also got obviously mass, a lot of people in fear tonight, a lot of tourists that were there as well. It's if people don't know Bondi, if you're watching from overseas, guys, Bondi is, I think, our most popular beach in Australia. It's the most frequented. If you're touring around Australia and you're a tourist in Sydney, a lot of people will end up at Bondi Beach at some point or another. And, I'm not sure what the weather was like, but, from the footage out there, looks like a beautiful day, a beautiful Sunday day with nice weather. So there'll be a lot of people out there, a lot of tourists there, just starting their holidays, of course, in Australia maybe, or just traveling around the country. So a lot of people are in shock. I'll see what other updates are coming in from the other newspaper sources as well. Do we have starting soon? Okay, we're waiting for Chris Minns.
Hold on, I might have somebody that can talk to us while we're waiting, but I'll just I'll mute myself for 2 seconds to get them on the line, and I'll let them know.
Yeah, do that. You do that. Some of the survivors are describing this as a mini October 7th there on the foreshore of Bondi Beach there. And from the footage that I've seen on X, especially the uncensored footage, we are talking about Australians lying on the ground there in this particular grassy area with their head shot, with blood pouring out everywhere, people trying to resuscitate them, everyone in shock. It is horrific, the footage. If you see the uncensored footage, there's people that have shared their own, I guess, selfies, worried about their lives that they've shared online, blood covered. And from the calls that we've heard and the witness testimony that we've heard from people that have seen as well, just horrific. Everyone is just distressed and in shock. Also, we're hearing from the police, they're seeking vision. So if you're in Sydney and you had some vision recorded on your phones, whatever it is, anything from around the time of the shooting, New South Wales police are asking for people to submit it to them via Crime Stoppers if you want to do it anonymously. We have seen drone footage. There's a lot of people that are taking out their mobiles, and only certain footage is available online right now that's going around. Obviously, as the night progresses and into tomorrow, we'll see more footage that people have taken being distributed online and being made available. Again, we've seen previously, one thing we have to worry about in Australia is that our government can be quite censorious when it comes to these particular topics. I don't know if you guys remember the stabbing that also happened in New South Wales. There was attempts to censor that by our e-safety commissioner. So I do advise for anyone that's watching this online that are seeing these sources of news, if you are able to, I would download whatever footage that you're seeing, because there is a tendency in Australia, sadly, for some of this footage to be scrubbed and removed. So especially the eyewitness testimony, a lot of the mobile phone footage, I would download a lot of that just to preserve that information, because a lot of the times our censors in Australia, sadly, again, people like the e-safety commissioner who want to create this narrative around all of this and, protect certain whatever interests that they have as well, will try to censor types of footage by saying it's too distressing for Australians to see. I believe as horrific as all of this is, Australians need to see this for what it is. We need to understand this for what it is. And we need a lot of accountability because we cannot live in a country where this becomes normal. And sadly, it is at this point. We are no different to many other places in the world where we see these terror attacks now. We are the international news around the world, and it's being covered globally as a horrific act of terror in a Western country. But definitely, I would say download all that information. So Avi's just trying to get more people to come in onto us, people that were there on the beach that witnessed everything. So he's just trying to organize a phone call with one of them. We've already had one lady call in. So he's muted. So we'll just wait on that. And I'll try to bring you the latest updates as well that I see coming from online. What do we have here? So the latest update still from police is 10 dead as far as reporting is going. Let me just quickly jump on X. I'm seeing in the comments, guys, a lot of you people are naming one of the terrorist individuals. I believe that is the name that has been reported by media. We've got the New Zealand Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, who's made a comment. Australia and New Zealand are closer than friends. We are family. I'm shocked by the distressing scenes at Bondi, a place that Kiwis visit every day. My thoughts and the thoughts of all New Zealanders are with those affected. So that's from the New Zealand Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon. And for those of you wondering, so far from the Prime Minister, the comment that we have is, the scenes in Bondi are shocking and distressing. Police and emergency responders are on the ground working to save lives. My thoughts are with every person affected. I have just spoken to the AFP Commissioner and with the New South Wales Premier. We are working with the New South Wales Police and will provide further updates as more information is confirmed. I urge people in the vicinity to follow information from the New South Wales Police. So that's from Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. So we are expecting a press conference attended by people from the police, as well as potentially Chris Minns, the Premier of New South Wales. So we're waiting for that update to happen. I would be very surprised if we don't hear from the Prime Minister of Australia tonight as well. I think many people would want to hear our leader speaking tonight as we're witnessing this devastating terrorist attack on our soil. The Australian National Imams Council and the Council of... Yep, Avi?
What have they said? Sorry, what have they said now?
The Australian National Imams Council and the Council of Imams New South Wales have released a statement on behalf of the Australian Muslim community, and this is what they have said. So this is from the Imams Council. This is from Muslim community leaders. The acts of violence and crimes have no place in our society. Those responsible must be held accountable and face the full force of the law. Our hearts and thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and all those who witnessed or were affected by this deeply traumatic attack. We acknowledge the pain, fear, and distress felt across the community and extend our sincere compassion and support to all who are grieving. We urge the community to remain vigilant, exercise caution, and support one another during this challenging time. This is a moment for all Australians, including the Australians of Muslim community, to stand together in unity, compassion, and solidarity, rejecting violence in all its forms and affirming our shared commitment to social harmony and the safety of all Australians.
Not one mention of Jews in that. Not one mention.
Well, even in the Prime Minister's initial statement, no mention of Jews.
This was an Islamic terrorist act. They good on them, say that it's an extreme element and there's no place in our community in Australia for this kind of violence, terrorist attacks in the name of their religion, an Islamic terror attack. It was an Islamic terror attack against the Jewish community celebrating a Jewish holiday tonight, and they couldn't bring themselves once to say the Jewish community.
Yeah, and as we've heard from testimony, and I've seen online as well from other testimony of people that were there, the gunmen, the terrorists, were shouting Allah Akbar as they were shooting their rounds into the crowd, into the civilian crowd. So obviously, it's very religiously motivated. It cannot be denied if those accounts are accurate, and I'm sure more information will come in regards to that. It cannot be denied. And we can take this back, Avi, all the way back to the scenes that we saw just days after October 7th in Australia on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and the failure even at that time. Here we go. Let's jump into this.
I think this is it.
Within the next 5 minutes or so, but obviously with what's happened.
So yeah, we can take it back all the way to those scenes that we saw. I don't know if you remember the imams that were out there celebrating the October 7th attack.
Yep.
And then on the we saw those disgusting scenes, I believe, on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, where we were arguing over whether they were saying gas the Jews or where's the Jews. Well, a group has gone out today and they've found the Jews and shot them.
Exactly.
That's really what's happened. So, and this is the progression of all of that, and I believe multiple failures of leadership and many others to obviously call this out, condemn this, and deal with this particular issue in Australia, because we are, I believe, bringing a lot of people into this country who are sympathetic to terrorism, who support terrorism, and who have no problem bringing their fundamentalist extremism to our shores and acting out in that on those beliefs that they have against other individuals and groups, and using this extreme acts of violence, terrorism, having explosives on them. This is what we're dealing with. And at the same time, we have Tony Burke, Albanese, bringing back ISIS brides. We have unvetted refugees, so-called, coming from war zones into this country. And this is not acceptable, I believe. And this is putting more and more Australians in danger. And something really needs to be done about this when all the dust has settled here. Because no doubt, this is not an isolated event in the sense that, yes, this terror attack happened. There's a lot of contributing factors to seeing what you're seeing on the streets of Bondi Beach tonight. It just didn't happen out of thin air. A lot of things have contributed to the scenes that we're seeing. And it's sad. And it's sad that this was predicted to have happened as well. And we are seeing the very... we're talking about all this, Avi. I think at the end of the day, like, this is like, even everyone that's watching, this is like you and I, or any of our family or our friends going to the beach here, whether it's in Bondi or anywhere in Australia, enjoying our freedom here in this country and being set upon. This is very real. We're sad. We're gratefully that we are alive and not impacted by this, but our fellow Australians, others, have been. And they've lost their lives tonight. Families are shocked tonight. They've lost their loved ones, and and there's people fighting for their lives as well in hospital right now.
And I'm telling you, so a lot of the commentary within the Jewish groups is the fact that the police station was across the road, the road, and people were calling for help to no avail. For at least what these witnesses are telling ABC News, that it was at least 10 minutes of shooting. And what our witness, who was then, obviously, she was in the stress of it, and the people she describes around her were all killed. She says it felt like 45 minutes. But either way, you're talking about across the road, a police station. The response was clearly very, very slow.
Yeah, look, I don't know exactly. Well, I guess that'll be one of the major things that's just investigated or looked into, the police response, because of course we've also Chris Minns is coming on.
Yep.
I think we should switch to that.
Yep, we'll do.
Yep, he's walking out now.
Reporting earlier, Isabella, it brings back memories of just over a year and a half ago, that attack at Bondi Junction. Sydney is unfortunately felt this way before.
We're actually just going to go to Jeremy Fernandez now.
Actually, we'll go to the media conference, beginning with the New South Wales Premier.
I appreciate you all being here on a very distressing night in Sydney. At approximately 6:47 this evening, two individuals began firing on a crowded group of families on Bondi Beach at Archer Park. This cowardly act of terrifying violence is shocking and painful to see, and represents some of our worst fears about terrorism in Sydney. I very sadly need to report that as of now, there are at least 12 individuals that have been killed. Wow. One of the offenders has also been killed, and one is in custody. This attack was designed to target Sydney's Jewish community on the first day of Hanukkah. What should have been a night of peace and joy celebrated in that community with families and supporters has been shattered by this horrifying, evil attack. Commissioner Lanyon will speak about the investigation, the police response, as well as the designation of this attack as a terrorism event in Sydney. I can assure the community it will be met with a massive, comprehensive police and public order response. Our heart bleeds for Australia's Jewish community tonight. I can only imagine the pain that they're feeling right now to see their loved ones killed as they celebrate this ancient holiday. It's the responsibility of all Australians to wrap their arms around Australia's Jewish community and help them get through this incredibly difficult period. This is a massive, complex and just beginning investigation. It's just begun, and there are things that tonight we don't have the answers to. However, we do have answers to some crucial pieces of information for our wonderful city and our beautiful state. The first one is the outpouring of love and support from ordinary Australians for Australia's Jewish community is real. Secondly, today is another example of the enormous pressure and responsibility, the danger that New South Wales Police regularly face as part of their job. They do it without faltering. They didn't falter today. We need them. And thirdly, tonight saw extraordinary acts of personal courage and bravery from individuals in our community. And I think it's worth remembering that in all of this evil, in all of this sadness, there are still wonderful, brave Australians that are prepared to risk their lives to help a complete stranger. Mel?
Thank you, Premier. Good evening. Premier has outlined the brief circumstances this evening. I'll go through them again. They're more than happy to take some questions. About 6:47 p.m. this evening, police started to receive a number of reports of shots fired at Archer Park at Bondi. Archer Park is a grassed area just north of the Bondi Pavilion. Police responded promptly. Unfortunately, at least 12 people are deceased at this time. 29 people have been transported to various hospitals around the Sydney area, including 2 police officers. The condition of those officers and the other transported are serious, but there is a range of conditions. Our thoughts, prayers and love go to all the families and all of those that were involved tonight. We know that there were many people there to celebrate a happy occasion, the celebration of Hanukkah, and there was well over 1,000 people there when this took place. As a result of the circumstances of the incident tonight, at 9:36 p.m. this evening, I declared this to be a terrorist incident. I have also authorised special powers under Section 5 and Section 6 to ensure that if there is a third offender, and we are currently investigating that at the moment, we will make sure that we prevent any further activity. Section 6 allows us to investigate today's incident. There is a massive police response, and I think as journalists you have seen how quickly and promptly the police responded. I'm incredibly proud of the professionalism of our police and emergency service responders. They have done a fantastic job. Unfortunately, it's only several years ago that Bondi occurred at Bondi Junction. We have learnt a lot from that, and tonight ambulance and police and other emergency responders acted promptly and professionally to do a great job there. We will have a significant investigation. Our Counter-Terrorism Command will lead this investigation with investigators from the State Crime Command. No stone will be left unturned. This type of disgraceful activity, this wanton use of violence, the taking of innocent lives is unacceptable to New South Wales. It's not our way of life. I've been very clear since I've been the Commissioner that as a police force, we won't stand for this type of violence. I'm personally offended. You have seen that the police have already taken prompt action. The Premier has mentioned one of the offenders is deceased, the second one is in serious condition at hospital. We will focus to ensure that there is no further threat to the public. Could I ask, but this is a time of calm. This is a time where I want to make sure that there is no retribution. The police are investigating thoroughly. We have acted promptly. We have taken decisive action. Could I just ask for calm in the community? Allow the police to do our job. We will work closely with community and I'll continue to provide updates about the investigation as they go on. Thank you. I'll hand over to the Minister and then happy to take questions.
Do we have an age range of
the victims, or since early days, of those deceased?
No, very early, sorry. I don't have those details at the moment. As you can imagine, there has been a fair dislocation. The ambulance service responded brilliantly. They've had to convey people right around the city to numerous hospitals. So at this stage, we don't have those details.
Commissioner, there's the 12 people...
Sorry, can I just ask one at a time? Sorry.
Commissioner, do you have any intelligence about the two shooters?
We're working through that at the moment. Obviously, part of the declaration is because I have information about the deceased shooter. It's not something I'm prepared to give at the moment. It will be part of the investigation, but we will work tirelessly through our counter-terrorism command to make sure we investigate all of the circumstances.
Commissioner, the 12 people that are deceased...
Do they include the gunman that is deceased, or is the gunman additional to that 12?
We've set up the 12 deceased at the moment. This is a really fluid situation. I would like to provide more certainty, but certainly the numbers that we are talking at the moment include the gunman.
Were any children among the deceased?
At this stage, I don't believe so. However, I do believe that a child was transported to hospital. Again, I don't want to give information that turns out to be incorrect. It is very early. We know that there has been a number of people turn up to hospital. We've had 29 others transported, and we know people are still turning up there.
What gives you reason to think there might be a third gun person around?
Unfortunately, in these sort of circumstances, we get information from a range of areas. We tend to be as safe as we possibly can so that we know that we have two definite offenders, but we want to make sure the community is safe. So we will run down this investigation. The reason that we have so many investigators out tonight is we can make sure that that happens. The fact that we've declared this as a terrorist incident, we've provided special powers, is to make sure that we prevent any further. I cannot confirm there is a third offender, but I want to make sure there's no stone left unturned.
Some news outlets are reporting a home in Bonnie Riggers being raided. Can you confirm that?
No, I'm well aware on social media that an identity of a person believed to be one of the gunmen has been circulated there. When I ask for calm, that is really important. This is not a time for retribution. This is a time to allow the police to do their duty. So police are responding to make sure that all of the community is safe. That is our role.
What can you tell us about public order riots, squad officers raiding homes? Is that happening right now?
What I'd say to you is that we have police right around the city at the moment to make sure that all of the community is safe. I don't want to go into too much specific activity. Our job is to respond to intelligence we get, respond to information, but make sure the community is safe. So unashamedly, we do have a lot of public order and riot squad and other police out on the streets at the moment to make sure there is calm. This disgraceful act will not go unpunished. Sorry.
So given it was a Hanukkah event, first night of Hanukkah, were there any additional police resources around the Bondi area or Dover Heights in case there was any problems?
There certainly were police patrolling that area. We were well aware and we worked closely with the Jewish community in terms of Hanukkah. The Jewish community has its own security group that we work very closely with, so there were police present. The fact there was such prompt action taken demonstrates the police were present.
Is there still an active threat tonight?
Sorry?
Is there still an active threat?
No, what I've said before is that we are aware definitely of two offenders at the moment. One of those is deceased, one is in hospital at the moment. We want to investigate thoroughly so that if there is a third offender or any other people are linked to this matter, we will investigate them and take action against them.
What intelligence do you have about this third person? Was he there with a gun? Is he outside of the area? What intelligence do you have? I think people need calm and worry that there's someone on the run still.
It's way too early to give that information. The community can be very reassured that the police responded quickly. The police have responded in numbers. We have a significant investigation underway at the moment. We will be following all people linked to those gunmen that we know, and we'll take action to keep the community safe. The community can rest assured that the police will take positive action to keep them safe.
What weapons were used and were they sourced illegally? And what can you tell us about the improvised explosive device found under the bridge?
It's way too early to give any description of the firearms other than to say that they were long arms. Where they came from, their background, how they came to be in possession of the offenders, it's too early to say. As part of the investigation and shortly after the shooting occurred, police located a vehicle in Campbell Parade at Bondi, which we believe has several improvised explosive devices. We have our rescue bomb disposal unit there at the moment working on that.
What is the latest on that?
It's still underway at the moment.
Are they
Were any of
portable
these
devices or?
It's too early to say that. As I said, we've got our rescue and bomb disposal unit there. They will take the appropriate action. They're experts in their field.
Were either of the two individuals, the deceased and the one in custody, known to authorities before this evening?
Only little on the offender that's deceased at the moment. I won't go into their background. That's obviously part of the investigation. Certainly form part of my consideration as whether to consider this to be a terrorist event.
Because of what?
The gunmen licensed to hold firearms, and do we know whether they were known to ASIO or New South Wales Police?
It's too early in that investigation.
Why did you declare it a terrorist attack?
There was a range of circumstances. Obviously, the fact that it's the first day of Hanukkah, the types of weapons, the offenders, some of the other items we found at the scene. As I said, we have found an improvised explosive device in a car which is linked to the deceased offender. So there's a range of circumstances, and obviously the Jewish community has a right to feel safe. We will take serious action.
Commissioner, you knew about the gunman that was deceased. How did you miss this attack? No.
I don't even think that's a reasonable question. What I said is that we are aware of the person. That does not mean there was any specific threat posed by that person. If the police had had intelligence that there was a risk to the community or to this event, we would have taken significant action. This is a tragic event. This is not the time to be pointing the finger. There will be a thorough investigation. My main focus is to make sure that the community feels safe and know that the police are there to support them and keep them safe.
Commissioner, how can two people with guns, improvised explosive devices in a car, organise something like this, potentially with a third person, and police do not know that it's coming?
Well, I think if you think about the size of the community here, our police do a fantastic job. Day in, day out, you see the work that we do to prevent crimes happening. We need intelligence to actually do that. As I said, the person that we know has very, very little knowledge to the police. So he's not someone that we would have automatically been looking at this time.
What can you tell us about the two injured police officers? Do you have their ranks? Has anyone been able to speak to them?
I wouldn't want to provide those details at the moment. We've obviously got next of kin coming down. Their loved ones will be with them. I want to make sure that they have some time in peace before we do. It's too early to provide that information.
Do you have a condition report at all?
Serious, verging on critical, and both are in surgery.
Commissioner, I understand a rabbi was among those who have been killed. Can you confirm that?
I can't confirm that, sorry.
This might be one for the Premier. Have you spoken to the Prime Minister, and is there any indication the national terror threat level will be raised?
I have spoken to the Prime Minister. I'll leave that up to him to inform the public of. But he offered all the support to New South Wales, and we both reflected on how shocking and terrifying this evil attack was.
Premier, what would you say to people who are scared right now?
Look, I understand that. This is a shocking event. It's not common in Australia, and it's all the more shocking because of that. What I can say is that there will be a comprehensive police response. Anything New South Wales Police needs in terms of resources, we will provide them. If there's changes that need to be made, we will do that immediately. I mean, we need to be in a situation where we're sending a clear and unambiguous message to the Jewish community, in fact every Australian that lives in this state, that these horrible acts of violence will never be tolerated, and anyone who perpetrates them we will throw the book at. Anyone who's thinking about it will be thoroughly investigated. This is a terrible night for Sydney, but I think it's important to say we can't let these evil people divide Australia up. We need to be in a situation where, as shocking as this is, there are still wonderful people in the Bondi community right throughout New South Wales. That's what these terrorists want. They want Australians divided and at each other's throats, and we can't let that happen. In fact, we won't let that happen.
Premier, at least two people, potentially three, have worked together to organise a mass shooting event with shotguns at Bondi Beach. There's been IEDs in a car planted nearby. Further to what I asked the Commissioner, has there been a failure here? Has there been a failure in intelligence or policing?
Look, I mean, I think in the circumstances, it's reasonable that both the government and the police conduct an investigation. There will be, of course, a full inquiry. But when you're looking at several hours after this horrifying event, it's important that police focus on community safety right now and ensuring that the immediate vicinity is locked down, that the public, those who've been injured, are transported to hospital, and that there's not an immediate ongoing threat. There'll be plenty of times for a thorough investigation, I can assure the public.
The Acting Deputy Commissioner for National Security for the AFP, and Mike Burgess, the Director General of ASIO. And we don't normally talk at confirmed meetings of the National Security Committee, but I think at this moment it is appropriate to tell Australians that the National Security Committee was convened as a matter of urgency, and we have just come from it. This afternoon there has been a devastating terrorist incident at Bondi at the Hanukkah by the Sea celebration. This is a targeted attack on Jewish Australians on the first day of Hanukkah, which should be a day of joy, a celebration of faith. An act of evil anti-Semitism, terrorism, that has struck the heart of our nation. An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on every Australian, and every Australian tonight will be, like me, devastated on this attack on our way of life. There is no place for this hate, violence and terrorism in our nation. Let me be clear, we will eradicate it. Amidst this vile act of violence and hate will emerge a moment of national unity, where Australians across the board will embrace their fellow Australians of Jewish faith at this dark moment for our nation. Our police and security agencies are working to determine anyone associated with this outrage. Our agencies will provide you with factual updates as quickly as possible as they continue to emerge. The evil that was unleashed at Bondi Beach today is beyond comprehension, and the trauma and loss that families are dealing with tonight is beyond anyone's worst nightmare. Australians have had their lives cruelly stolen, and many have been injured. For all Australians, our first thoughts are with those in the terrible early hours of their grief. We are also thinking of everyone being treated for their injuries, and many of whom are alive right now because of the courage and quick action of the New South Wales Police and the first responders who rushed to their aid, as well as the courage of everyday Australians who, without hesitating, put themselves in danger in order to keep their fellow Australians safe. We have seen Australians today run towards danger in order to help others. These Australians are heroes, and their bravery has saved lives. As Prime Minister, I say on behalf of all Australians to the Jewish community, we stand with you, we embrace you, and we reaffirm tonight that you have every right to be proud of who you are and what you believe. You have the right to worship and study and live and work in peace and safety, and you enrich us as a nation. You should never have to endure the loss that you have suffered today. You should never know the fear that you know tonight. We will dedicate every resource required to making sure you are safe and protected. You are Australian, and all Australians are with you today and every day. My fellow Australians, I say tonight that there are nights that tear at our nation's soul. In this moment of darkness, we must be each other's light. Hold on to the true character of the country that we love. Australia is stronger than the cowards who attacked innocent people today. Australia is braver than those who seek to make us afraid. Australia will never submit to division, violence or hatred. We will see justice done, and we will come through this together. I'd ask Acting Deputy Commissioner Ryan to make some comments, and then Director General Burgess.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Firstly, our thoughts go out to the families and communities that have been affected by this senseless attack today. The AFP stands next to the New South Wales Police and with ASIO in our joint counter-terrorism arrangements. and we'll put all resources we can, all our specialist powers, all our specialist resources towards ensuring that this matter is investigated as thoroughly as possible. In relation to the Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, we have heard that there has been a declaration of a terrorist incident that will enable the AFP, along with ASIO and New South Wales Police, to use specialist powers in relation to this investigation. I don't wish to speculate in relation to any of the information that is currently known. This matter is ongoing, it is in its early stages, and we will continue to work with New South Wales Police to ensure that it's investigated as best as possible. Thank you.
Thanks, Nigel. Thanks, PM. ASIO was also a member of the Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, and our principal role at this stage is to support the police in their ongoing investigation. But at the same time, as is standard practice for us, we are looking at the identities of the attackers, and where that is known, we're looking to see if there anyone in the community that has similar intent. It's important to stress at this point we have no indications to that fact, but that is something we have active investigations on. The national terrorism threat level remains at probable. I don't see that changing at this stage. Probable means there is a 50% chance of an act of terror, and unfortunately we've seen that horrific act occur tonight in Australia. Thank you.
A few questions. Charles?
Prime Minister, you've called this terror. Are you aware of any other terror threats at the moment, and what's your message to Jewish Australians who may not feel safe in Australia tonight?
My message to Jewish Australians is that your fellow Australians stand with you tonight in condemning this act of terror, in condemning this outrage. We have had a number of conversations with people tonight. One of the Jewish community leaders said to me that we know where anti-Semitism leads, that it leads to an attack on everyone, not just Jewish Australians. And this attack at Bondi Beach, of all places, a place of celebration, a place where people, particularly in Sydney, but from all over the world, come to enjoy each other's company, and to, in this case, at the Bondi Pavilion there. I'm very familiar with that pavilion. This senseless attack is one which is an act of terror. It is aimed at creating fear. But we will stand with the Jewish community and Jewish Australians at this time.
Prime Minister, in light of this attack, is the government going to move on any of the recommendations in the Special Envoy's report on anti-Semitism in Australia?
Yeah, we're continuing to work on all of those issues, including one of the things that you'll see is a request that had previously been made to be included in additional funding for security as well. And I know that it is, this is an incredibly tough time for the community to deal with this. It's important that they don't deal with it alone, that everyone stand with them at this time. And then we'll fill in there.
Left unchecked, as you were just saying, anti-Semitism leads to terrorism and violence targeting the innocent. Your government has come under criticism in claiming that it has effectively responded to the rise of anti-Semitism in Australia since October 7, 2023. In September, your government recognised a Palestinian state. Your ministers have attacked the Israeli government. Senior ministers refused to visit the sites of the October 7 massacres, and you created a special Islamophobia envoy alongside an anti-Semitism envoy. Have you taken the threat of anti-Semitism seriously, and can you guarantee the safety of Jewish Australians?
Yes, we have taken it seriously, and we've continued to act. We've continued to work with Jewish community leaders. We've continued to take all the advice from the security agencies to put in place special measures, and we'll continue to do so. Phil?
For Mr Burgess or Deputy Commissioner Ryan, Mr Burgess, you've been warning for a long time about the risk of this sort of attack, localised extremism. I think, were any of these people on your watch list? I think the New South Wales Commissioner just said they were aware of one of these characters, that they were keeping an eye on him. Was he on either of your radar at all?
So it's too early to give you any more details, Phil, other than to say, like the New South Wales Police, one of these individuals was known to us, but not in an immediate threat perspective. So obviously we need to look into what happened here.
Mr Burgess, you mentioned that the chance of another attack is probable, or 50%. I'm just wondering, how does that mean that there is still a 1 in 2 chance of a follow-up attack? And does ASIO or the other security agencies take more precautions now that you've seen such a devastating attack?
So national terrorism threat level of probable means there's a 50% chance, so 1 in 2, of course. That doesn't mean to say there's a connection to an immediate attack following this one. That is subject to our ongoing investigation. We have no indications that that is the concern at this stage, but of course we will work 24/7 along with our police colleagues to make sure that is the case.
Mr Burgess, given that the events of earlier today, why can you sort of expand on your decision to leave the terrorist threat level at probable? And do you envisage that you will have further conversations about potentially adjusting the terrorism threat level in the coming days?
The national terrorism threat level is under constant review. One incident by itself does not necessarily raise the threat level at a national level, but we keep that under constant review.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. That's the press conference we had the state premier and the Prime Minister, ASIO, Federal Police. Look, it was interesting. I don't know who that journalist was there that was actually asking the tough questions for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
but it was
one
right.
journalist.
And that's yeah, I don't know who he was. It sounded like he was from Sky News. I've got here... just see there's a couple of updates, any updates that you get, but I'm going to bring somebody in now that
bring him in.
That is not a victim. This one is actually somebody else. Let me just make sure they're going to come on before I announce it. Let me just send him. I don't know if I've set up the 3 here. I think we've had 3 since then.
Yeah, we did have one with 3. But yeah, Albanese was not very convincing, so I had to say, for a leader in these times. Just felt like platitudes, empty platitudes.
He knows he's in trouble because for 2 years people have been, warning about this. It was clear, the writing was on the wall. October 9th of 2023, 2 days after October 7, it was clear this was going to happen. When you had mobs from Western Sydney screaming, "Where's the Jews, gas the Jews," whatever it was, hunting Jews down. Even if it was just, where's the Jews? It's just like in Nazi Germany, but when they came into Poland and into Warsaw, they were chanting, "Where's the Jews?" because they were looking for the Jews, not to give them a hug, but to hurt them in this exact manner that we've seen here tonight.
To the point of what you're saying, someone has sent me an image of that particular protest at the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and they sent me a screenshot which looks like this particular individual was at this protest. Now, we don't know that for sure. I don't want to bring this up on here, but from what I'm looking at,
on the Sydney Harbour Bridge or the Sydney Opera House?
Sydney Opera House. Sorry, it looks like footage from that day, and look, it could be any other guy that's got a beard or whatever, or looks a bit like this guy. I don't know for 100% sure, so we won't bring it up. But look, this is a part of this. Like, there has been this ongoing rhetoric of people walking out on the streets. We've had on the Sydney Harbour Bridge as well, people carrying ISIS flags, talking about in their particular chants, what's the globalizing the Intifada. This is the end result of globalizing the Intifada for some of these extremists. Like, this is what they're talking about when they're talking about hunting for Jews and you're looking for Jews or gas Jews, whatever they're saying. This is the end result of all of that. So it's all interlinked. Obviously, our government is very compromised when it comes to this particular issue. People like Penny Wong, Penny Wong herself, when she was in Israel, she refused to visit the sites of the attacks for whatever reason. Many other world leaders did that. So, we do have the government, the Labour government under Albanese, who has a track record of supporting these type of causes as well, and turning a blind eye to some of the rhetoric. They do have a part to play, Avi, in all of this. And like you said, I think that's why things that he's saying to the Jewish community. I'm seeing the responses from people online to it right now. People are just calling him out on it, and he doesn't have the high ground, to put it in that term, to be able to speak in the way that he's speaking right now. And I think that's why his comments seem hollow. And even when the police are talking about, like the police commissioner from New South Wales is talking about, we'll make sure everyone's safe and stuff. I don't believe him. Like, what are you talking? Not like 12 people are dead. And they're saying, well, they didn't know, whatever. Fine. You can't always prevent everything, but I don't think anyone finds what they're saying reassuring. I don't, personally, when I hear them saying those things, like, we'll protect people, nothing will happen. Really, you're saying these things? Like, I'm not convinced, and I think many Australians, especially Jewish Australians, would not be convinced by the things that these people are saying. And that's just the truth. That's the truth of it. And I'm not blaming law enforcement. I'm not blaming Asia. I'm not blaming all these people, but no one's convinced, because for years we've seen them dragging their feet and not calling out these things and not dealing with the issues around. One of the individuals has been identified, I believe, as a Pakistani immigrant. The other one apparently is Algerian. So again, we're having two people from two different backgrounds. Obviously, they're brought together by their ideological hatred and religious fundamentalism, perhaps. If you're looking at the coordination between these two individuals, they're also saying they're looking for a third individual. They're not really going into specifics.
There's also reports of a car full of explosives.
And they did also allude to the fact that at least one of them was known to them to some degree. Now, that could be just that his name comes up on the system because he's had a run-in with the police. He may have not been on any type of terror watch list. It did not seem like that. But, lots of questions there for the authorities to answer. And Australians rightly deserve answers as well, because we have just had a terror incident. 12 people so far confirmed dead, and multiple more being worked on in life-threatening critical situations in hospital right now. And all our prayers are with them and their families during this horrific time in our country.
Sorry, I'm getting a lot of messages. I'm just trying to filter through them to see which ones are relevant to what we're doing here. There's so much to get through here. I need a PA. This is ridiculous. What's going on here? So we're going to have, I think Amichai Shikli is going to potentially join us in a minute. He's got an announcement. I think he's heading to Australia now. I'll bring, hold on, we've got something.
The person who is deceased.
I won't confirm that at the moment. All I'll say is that we're aware there is a social media post. I'd have to ask for people to remain calm at the moment.
And I understand that there's 3 people clearly visible in one of the videos. Is that third person the one that you are still trying to locate?
What I've said is we have confirmed there were definitely 2 offenders. We are investigating now to identify whether there was a third offender. Often in these sort of situations, a lot of things happen at once. You can imagine the chaos that was down there, the fear that were in members of the public there. We need to make sure that we get this information right. The fact that we've taken a positive step by declaring it as a terrorist event, providing special powers for investigations, shows how serious we are about making sure we investigate this thoroughly.
So worried still, the Commissioner, is there potentially a third gunman on the run?
Well, I think what I've said at the moment is we have confirmed 2, but I think the community should be very reassured that the police are so thorough in New South Wales. We want to make sure that if there is any threat, we are aware of it and we take action to prevent.
We'll take a couple more. The police obviously have to get on.
Can you tell us about the victims in terms of age, gender, anything like that, about the 12?
No, sorry, I was asked that one earlier. It's too early at this stage to provide those details.
Premier, police premiers outside of the Bondi area have been put into this.
Sorry?
How many police resources outside of the scene in Bondi have been put onto this investigation?
We'll put as many police officers as are required to investigate that matter. I've already indicated we have a significant presence from our counter-terrorism command, from our state crime command, and for all of the police area commands around Sydney. We'll put as many police as required. It is that serious, and the community, I want to feel safe.
James, last one, yes.
I was one more now asked Minister.
Did you say something about?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're deploying extra resources from Victorian Police, is that correct? Are we stripped of our resources here because it's such a large-scale event?
No, I think what it is, we will look for whatever resources. So it may well be if there's a specialist resource that we require we don't have. We are an incredibly capable police force. We have the capability and the resources to investigate this sort of matter. It is not unusual at all, but for police forces to seek assistance and work with other police forces. As you can imagine, I've had offers from every police commissioner around Australia tonight to provide any assistance they can. That is what the policing family is like. That is our role.
I mean,
we're here to keep the community safe.
I don't know how accurate this is.
Yeah, what is that?
No, the reports of people firing off fireworks in Bagstown.
I would not be surprised. I'm sorry, but wait till you see videos of it. I don't think reports is going to be reliable.
Yeah, it could be something unrelated. I don't know. It's just some people saying. We're getting sent all sorts of information, guys. I mean, we can't verify and share all this stuff as well because it's hard to say for sure, especially during this time. A lot of people put stuff online. There's more footage coming out, different angles of the shooters as well that we're watching.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot here too.
Yeah, I'm getting my inbox is being flooded. I can't share all this stuff, guys. Like, unfortunately, especially the graphic things. Trying to just filter it out.
See if they've got any. I'll just turn this up a little bit while you're filtering that. Let me know if you need me to
neutralised sooner.
Yeah, I'll send you a video.
The Premier saying that the focus needs now to be on an investigation into this terror attack, and there'll be plenty of time later for a full investigation into the response. And we've been bringing you images repeatedly over the last couple of hours of this incredible moment where a man wrestles the gun off one of the gunmen, and we might be able to play that now. And the Premier is asked about that. And from what the Premier was saying, Casey, it sounds like this may be a civilian.
It does sound like it, right? I suspect a lot of words are going to be said about this man, but Chris Minns was there heaping praise on this man who we saw video of wresting that long rifle out of the hands of a gunman and sort of beating him away. Chris Minns described him as a genuine hero. He said, "I've got no doubt there are many, many people alive tonight as a result of his bravery." Just extraordinary, an extraordinary intervention from that man.
And
who seems to have taken it off his back.
And here it is here.
To tackle.
So this the civilian that we now understand is a civilian in that white T-shirt running up to this gunman who's just been firing from a bridge 50 metres away into a crowd of around 1,000 people that we hear now. And what the witnesses were telling us, it was for about 10 minutes it seemed to take, and that it started about 6:47. So this man runs up to this gunman, wrestles the gun off him, and then we see what looks like a kid come up and throw something at the gunman, and all the while they were...
I think that was a kid. I think that looked like an
other
old
gunman
man
up on the bridge. And we see
it looks like a religious Jew because he's wearing like
at least one shot
kind of the religious
towards
clothing.
them. So the New South Wales Premier describing that man's actions as those of a genuine hero, and no doubt we'll hear much more about him amid the horror of what has happened today, and this news that we've just heard in these last two media conferences, that the death toll from this is now 12, including one of the gunmen.
Yes, we now know one of those gunmen that we've been seeing this vision of has died. The other in police custody with injuries. Police no doubt very keen to speak to that person. We know the identity of one of those gunmen, and we know that their house in Bonnyrigg has been raided by police as well. Our reporter Digme Worthmiller has been at the scene, keeping in touch with first responders all evening. Digme, we're at nearly 4 hours now since this incident started. What's the latest? What do you know?
Yeah, well, we're based here in North Bondi at the police cordon, just a little bit further down to my right. The North Bondi RSL is located down there. And this evening, police, ambulance, emergency services have been coming and going. Just moments ago, we saw a number of armed police going through the cars.
I'm going to turn my mic off for a second just to make this call.
Windows and just checking through, double checking the area here and making sure that everything is as safe as it can be. I was speaking to one of our reporters who got to the scene very early on, Isabel Rowe, and she was in one of the very initial police cordons before they then extended it out, and she said that the public have since been evacuated out of that area, but now with the darkness falling on Bondi, it's becoming very difficult for emergency services to comb through that scene where the shooting took place this evening at around 7 p.m. You could probably hear and see that the wind is really picking up here in Bondi, and it's also hampering police efforts by blowing the sand off Bondi and onto emergency services as they work through what is now a crime scene here in Bondi. To recap some of those critical pieces of information from the press conference that we've just heard, 12 people confirmed dead, one of which is the gunman. And there's also 29 other people that have been dispatched to various hospitals around Sydney with injuries, gunshot injuries. And police did say during that press conference that more people are continuing to show up to those hospitals as they have sustained injuries as the gunfire rang out at around 7 p.m. tonight. Police also said that they are receiving reports that a child had been injured, but they are still working to verify that piece of detail. Right now, there's still a heavy police presence, people coming and going. Police K9 units, dog units have been driving around the suburb here in Bondi to make sure that there is a heavy police presence. In the press conference, one of which Prime Minister Anthony Albanese addressed the nation, he said that there will be a heavy police riot squad as well as military presence in the area. And we have seen some of those personnel coming and going from the scene here. We've also seen dogs on the street. And so safety is the paramount importance for police as they continue into tonight and figure out what exactly more they can do to make sure everyone's at ease as they head to bed tonight.
And Digby, just on the ongoing and active investigation, we heard from police that they're investigating the possibility that maybe a third person was involved in this shooting. But the other piece of information or the other piece of information they've shared, and you've been reporting on, for us for some time now, is this potential explosive device at Bondi Beach. You've seen members of the bomb squad, I think, coming through. What's the latest there? What do we know?
Yeah, surprisingly, there wasn't a whole lot of detail around the explosives situation. It is still very much an active scene down here. And like I said earlier, those armed police officers have been going through, checking cars. But there was an initial bomb threat down by Campbell Parade between the car park, a bridge and Bondi Beach. And police are concerned that there was a potential IED located under that bridge. They did, however, find in their searches of the cars, they did find one vehicle containing explosive materials. That was one point they did touch on during that press conference. And that vehicle contained some explosive materials. And so what they now need to do is they need to go through and check every other car, because it's unsure how many cars the shooters came in and whether there are any other threats, which is why we're still seeing such a heavy police presence down here. Even just now, we can see police coming out of the scene. I'm just going to step to the side so you can see that. But they would have just driven past now. So they're still driving around and checking A little bit further down where the camera is now, you'll see the North Bondi RSL. There is still a very heavy police presence down that end of Bondi. We can't get any closer than where we are right now because there are multiple police cordons in place to A, keep people safe, but B, make sure that they can get a handle on the situation. It's at around this evening, there was also other information around this incident being declared as a terrorist act, but there'll be more information as the night goes on.
Reporter Digby Worthmuller down for us live at Bondi Beach, as he's been there for several hours now. We'll let you get back to it. Thank you.
And Dana Farfan lives in North Bondi and was near the bridge where the shooting took place. Dana joins us now. Dana, welcome. Just first of all, your reaction to this horrific incident that's happened in your neighbourhood.
Yeah, I was actually walking down to North Bondi Fish with my friend when I passed Raw Bar, and we were walking down the street and we heard a few bangs, and we see that there was a Hanukkah festival going on, and I was like, oh, fireworks, like, that's exciting. We jumped a little bit when we heard it because it was very loud. And then my friend looks at me and we were just laughing about the fact that it was fireworks. And then we stop, and then I look over, and then I see all these people running and screaming, and then I said, that's not fireworks. I turned to my friend and I grab her hand and I say, it's a shooting. I say, it's a shooting, we need to run. And I grab her and I start bolting. I'm bolting for my life. I look behind, I see thousands of people, hundreds of people just running and running. And then I pass the crepe shop at the end near the park, and I turn the corner, and the first car I saw, I just jumped to the car. I banged on the window and I said, hey guys, can you please let my friend and I in? There's a shooting. And I didn't know what to think. I just went fight or flight. I jumped in the car, and then the next thing I know, there's another girl who came in. She jumped on top of us in the car. My friend was on the floor of the car. I was in the middle of the car, and then the new girl who just jumped in was on the left of us. And these boys, they start flooring the car. I'm terrified. We don't know what's going on. At this point, we can still hear the gunshots. We speed up the street, we turn left, and then they drop us home. I run into my house and I explain to my dad what's going on, and at first initial reaction, he didn't even believe me because Bondi is such a safe community. It's the last thing I'd ever think to happen on a Sunday with families and friends around. Bondi's always been such a safe community. It's been a bubble, and so my dad didn't believe me until we heard police sirens, and then that was when it really clicked, and we were just in shock, the three of us. We didn't know what to think, we didn't know what to feel, and it's just devastating to think that this would happen before Hanukkah and Christmas, on a night that's meant to be so peaceful for families, the Jewish community, and friends and people who are visiting Australia. And the image this is put onto our community is just awful, and it's shocking, and yeah, it's
And
insane.
Dana, you would be, as a local, you'd be familiar with that bridge that the gunmen were on. How far do you think you were from that bridge when you heard those shots?
When I heard the gunshots, I was honestly opposite it, pretty much.
On Campbell Parade.
Yeah. So I did, initially when we were at Raw Bar, I did see two men in just wearing black. I didn't see any gun. I didn't see anything. I didn't think anything. It's Bondi. It's safe. I cross that bridge every day. My mum walks our dog on that bridge every day. So I would never think anything of it. And then it just goes to show how safe of a community we think it is when I believe it's fireworks. And then when I saw the look on people's faces, it just clicked to me straight away that I just had to start running. And then I did remember a guy actually came bolting past us as well, telling us to run, but I didn't think anything of it until I really saw the hundreds of people just start running.
And Dana, have you been kind of born and bred in Bondi? And if so, what do you know about the Jewish community and how important the Jewish community is to the Bondi scene?
Yeah, I was born and bred in Bondi. So my friend that I was with was actually Jewish. So she did actually want to go to the festival. I didn't particularly want to go just because we had plans, but yeah, that's why it's also so freakish to me. But yeah, the Jewish community, it's very strong. It's very big, especially in the eastern suburbs around Bondi and Dover Heights. And tonight was meant to be a peaceful night for them, a night of celebration, and it was cut short. So.
Okay, Dana, thanks for talking to us. And yeah, this has obviously affected the families and friends of those who've died terribly and those who've injured, but also people like you who've been through the trauma of this and witnessed it. So thanks for talking to us this evening.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, thousands of people, Joe, at this venue, this beach, this icon of Sydney and the world that have all, if they're not directly affected, have been affected in some way. We've heard so many accounts from eyewitnesses this evening, people that were there, people that know people that were there, and
yeah. So yeah, I'm just on in the background here before we end tonight's stream, because I think most of the information that we've gotten from authorities is probably what we're going to get tonight. There'll be updates in the morning. I do have a group of other survivors of the attack that are there trying to that are happy to talk to us. So we'll give it a few more minutes. I've also got there's Minister Amichai Chikli, who has announced, and I was just trying to see if he'll come on before boarding, but he's actually boarding a flight, I believe. Let's see what his statement exactly says. A government that normalised boycotts against Jews solely because they are Jewish, normalised marches in which flags of Al-Qaeda and Hamas were openly displayed, and for 2 years have failed to act decisively against serious anti-Semitic incidents, bears full responsibility for the horrific scenes we witnessed. I believe he announced somewhere, he told me he announced it's coming. We'll see. We'll give it a few more minutes and see if I can get either of them on the line right now.
Yeah, we'll give it a few
I am
minutes.
seeing there are videos of
one of the individuals that got some bandages around his head. He's speaking. There's a few videos like this.
There's the fireworks videos you're talking about, but nothing will surprise me now.
Chuck it onto the big screen, both of us.
Yeah.
ABC is just showing repeats.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reactions now coming from leaders around the world, and obviously people also sharing.
One of them was allegedly on the ASIO watch list. Apparently. Okay. That's what the reports are, which, if true, just shows you how useless that is.
Yeah.
Give me 2 secs. This might be one for us.
Yeah, you can mute yourself. So I'll just, I'll just go to the latest coverage from the media and get back to you guys on what's being reported now. We got here The Age reporting about a bystander held shooting victim's hand as she waited for treatment. I think we've seen a lot of stories like this coming out now. We're going to hear more about this in the next coming days. The acts of bravery and heroism from everyday Australians running in at times, it looks like the line of fire to protect individuals. That man alone that disarmed one of the terrorist gunmen, how many lives did he save? Like many brave acts that we're seeing from Australians in the footage and the images that are coming out, and people just comforting people as well during this time, because it is a shocking scene that we're seeing. We can't even show you the footage of the carnage afterwards because it's just most likely get some sort of community violation on some of the platforms we're streaming on without it being blurred. But it did look like the aftermath of a mini October 7 style attack on an Australian beach here. The way that our fellow Australians were lying there with gunshot wounds and shots to their head, bleeding out, dying because of what these disgusting, vile terrorists have done. We've got another one from The Age here. So, wait, Avi might come on soon. Let's just see. No, he's talking to someone. A national terror threat alert still probable. So they haven't raised the terror alert. Probable means there's a 50% chance of an act of terror. And unfortunately, we've seen that horrific act occur tonight in Australia. So the terrorist threat level remains the same. The PM has come out and said that the act is an act of evil anti-Semitism. So it's directly called it out as such. And many of the leaders have directly said that this was a targeted attack, including the police commissioners have said this is a targeted attack on the Jewish community there in New South Wales, but of course all across Australia. There'll be much more to say about that in the coming days. Improvised explosive devices were found in a car at the scene linked to one of the individuals. That's currently being taken care of by the bomb squad, who are trying to dispose of these explosive devices. We're not too sure exactly what was in there, but I'm sure we'll have more information on this in the coming day.
Yeah. All right. So I do have another witness, but I understand that they want to have just to talk tomorrow about it, which is fine. Look, I think we got a picture, a very, clear picture of what it felt like to be there on the ground in that interview. The team have shared it. Aside from that, I don't think Amikai's coming on, so I'll save that. But there's a lot going to be happening over the next, I'd say, week or so at least, as we find out more details about the perpetrators, the potential terrorist cells, the failures of police and security forces, and what kind of effect this is going to have in the broader community.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's tragic. But it also has implications for Australia in many respects, Avi. So obviously the first and foremost is we're thinking about the people who are impacted by this, those who are deceased, their families and the victims. That is the number one priority right now of course, the authorities and of all Australians. So our prayers to them and their families. But following this, there is, of course, the issues that have led to this, how this was allowed to happen, how this happened in Australia, how these networks of individuals who don't seem to be from the same country as well. So there's something else uniting these two individuals, or three, that we currently it's not fully confirmed yet how many are involved. There is an ideological element here as well to bring these people together to commit this act. So that needs to be looked at. Obviously, we also know now that police, at least with one of these individuals, was known to police in some regards. What that exactly means, many people in the media will want to know if there was a failure there by our security services, by ASIO, to identify these risks and these threats. And then beyond that, Avi, just what happened on the day today. Like we've heard from the person that we had, the witness that was there, that called in about what she felt like was the eternity that it took for police to respond when the police station was across the road. Now, we did hear the police commissioner in New South Wales say that they believe that the police did an impeccable job, and there's no reason to doubt that also at this point, because we're just getting people's reactions from what they understood and felt during a traumatic time. So all of these things will need to be assessed, and there's also a political fallout from this, and it's going to be something that's I think going to dominate the discussions in this country for various reasons over the next couple of months, even potentially into the next election. Now, we don't want to politicize all of these things, but naturally this will happen because it touches on many different topics that we discuss on our shows and in politics in this country, much of it to do with unvetted immigration as well, from people who are hostile towards our way of life in Australia, who bring these religious grievances, this extremism into our country, and then decide that they will carry out these acts of terrorism against Australians in our peaceful, beautiful nation. They bring their barbarism, their third world mentality, their religious extremism to our shores, and then they perpetrate these acts against this beautiful nation, which has given them a home. Now, from what I'm seeing of this one of these individuals, at least, he seems like someone that had great benefits in Australia in terms of his life here, but now he's then used that to turn his gun towards Australia itself. Make no mistake, yes, this was a targeted attack against Jewish Australians, but this is an attack on all of us and our country and our way of life and the things that we believe in. And this cannot be normalized. We cannot become like the rest of the world where this is normal. We've escaped a lot of this for a long time, at least since the Lynn Cafe incident. But we've known this has been brewing. Over the last 2 years, we've known this has been brewing. We've seen the footage of Sydney Harbour. We've seen the footage from Sydney Opera House. People talking about where's the Jews or gas the Jews, whatever they were saying, it doesn't matter. This is the end result of globalizing the Intifada. We saw on the Harbour Bridge, blatant people carrying the flags of ISIS and other terror networks in this country, carrying the flags of Hezbollah or Hamas, supporting terror networks, and the blind eye that the people in this country, the political class, turn to that. We cannot allow terrorism to fester in this country in this way. We should not be allowing any of these ideological views to become normalized in Australia. If you want to support these terrorist causes, get the hell out of the country. Go to places where they support these people and do it there. We cannot normalize this, and it has been normalized. And this, I believe, is the end result of a lot of that, where we now have terrorists, which appear to be extremists, driven by an ideological hatred of a certain group of people. It's very targeted, from what we know for now, carrying out this mass terror attack in Australia. We are not safe in this country right now. We do not know where the next attack is planned. It's quite obvious that our intelligence officers, they were not aware of these people's intentions to do this. So how many more people are there like this under the radar, carrying or planning out these terror attacks in this country? These are all questions that Australians rightly will want answers to. And, I feel less safer now today in Australia than I did yesterday. And it was already bad. You know what I mean? Like, I feel less safer now because now we've seen the end result of a lot of the, literally the appeasement of these terror type individuals and their ideological views in this country under all types of banners that we've tolerated this, and this is what happens. And I'm sorry, but I just don't feel safe, and I think it's legitimate for many people also not to feel safe in this country right now, because I don't believe the authorities, the police, the ASIO, or the government have any idea what is brewing there in the background in this country. This is just a preview, I believe, of more to come of things like this if it's not taken care of.
And they've shown over the last 2 years they're unwilling to take care of it because it's for multiple reasons. It's not politically correct, but also the fact that it doesn't serve their political aims. They've got different minority groups that they want to appease, and it just doesn't seem fashionable it won't be popular in those groups to take it seriously. Anyways, look, it is a shocking incident. It was inevitable, sadly. And I think the Jewish community has been screaming from the rooftops for the last 2 years, crying out for help as every incident happened, and everything that happened got minimized. It's just graffiti, get over it. It's just a fire on property. It was always going to escalate to murder. And there's a lot of people that need to be held accountable for it, both in the government, also in the Islamic community leadership, even their, weak statement that you read out earlier. It's just shameful. And it is actually, it means that unless somebody stands up and and deals with this head on, without trying to appease anyone, literally calling out the problems for what they are and being willing to take them on properly. This is unfortunately the reality that Australia's going to live in. And I've been saying for months, like, I've been worried myself. In a weird way, this is like...
Well, just the other day, I think I read an article that you had commented on some other newspaper talking about how it's unsafe for Jews in Australia, like literally to leave the country because like it's becoming unlivable in terms of the threats against their life. And that was a couple of days ago I read that article.
What are they playing
and then today,
on this? Hold on. What are they playing here?
That's one of the interviews I had on earlier.
My car is dead today. I look...
Your heart is dead today?
Yes, today I am scared to go
Tourist.
to Bondi Beach. But no problem, but...
French
tourist.
Yeah, no, he was just doing a lot of actions there, and I thought...
So Netanyahu has commented, the Prime Minister of Israel, and he said what happened in Australia was horrific and that death toll continues to rise.
It will unfortunately rise. Yeah, and you were saying, literally the other day I did give an interview where I was saying that most Australians, and sadly, I'm sad to say this, including myself, I feel like the trajectory we're going on, there is no place for us here. And it's not that every Aussie we meet is hating us. It's that too many are willing to sit by and watch this hate fester and grow because they don't feel like they're the targets. But I promise you, I've been saying this again for 2 years, not yet. When we're all forced out, when Jews are forced out of Australia, they are not going to stop there. And all you got to do is look at Europe, look at the UK. You can see that. And this should never have come to this. It should have never come to the point where Jews are being hunted in the street on a Jewish holiday, targeted for being Jewish. Let's make no mistake here. This was not a pro-Israel event. It was not a Zionist event. This was to celebrate Chanukah, a Jewish event, a Jewish holiday. So that would be, that would be like if somebody targeted a Muslim event after October 7 and blamed it on Hamas. Even though I still don't think that's comparable, but let's just say, like, even if you've fallen for the narrative of this entire war, and you believe Israel has something to answer for, and you think all this whatever stuff. The point is, we've told you the whole time, and the other side, these people who have been rallying on our streets, holding our streets hostage, taking the Sydney Harbour, taking over the Sydney Harbour, marching on the Sydney Opera House, here in Melbourne, taking everything on. They've always said, don't conflate Judaism and Zionism. It's been conflated. It's always been about Jews. The whole reason why they care about this conflict is because it's about Jews. That's it. Because if they actually cared about innocent civilians being killed, they would have been marching for the other half a dozen conflicts that killed many more civilians, women and children in the same time. But they haven't. And it's always had to do with Jews. And the people that stand for this cause, they are happy to target Jews. I saw a video just yesterday from that Palestine, and I was reading the comments, and I was just thinking, and a lot of them were saying, isn't it funny that you idiots post this? Because it proves what people say about you. Is they were posting that they're in the Palestinian what are they called? The Palestinian News Network, or whatever they call them. I've done a few videos on these guys in America. They go around just free Palestine and harassing Jews, and they're in I don't know what it is. It's in the Senate. It's where everybody gets to walk around and interact with senators in the States. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't think we have an equivalent thing to it because you don't get that close to them, but which is interesting. Anyways, and this person holding the phone just sees a visually obvious Jew, because it's dressed like a Jew, looks like a Jew, so like an Orthodox Jew, and just started shouting, free Palestine, child, all the regular slurs at him. And he's just turned around going, how do you even know my politics? So you literally, this is about Jews. You guys hate Jews. And I know that I know the word anti-Semitism has been overused for so many years, and it annoys me when people within the Jewish community even use it when it's not really justified. But wake up, because it is justified now. It is happening. It has been happening. I've been on the receiving end, and if you're not sure, just look at my comment section in the last 2 years, and you can see there are different parts of the community, whether it's the far left, the far right, this Islamist group, the Islamist group that have been there. That Islamist part of our community, of the Australian community that we've bought here, this has been their crusade for a long time, but now they feel so emboldened by the fact that the left, the growing far left, and the growing far right that are empowering them and dismissing their blind hatred of Jews as only, it's just anti-Israel. If you just weren't genociding, then nobody would be targeting you. It's just wake up, because even if it's only for self-preservation as Australians, because this, as the saying goes, first they come for the Saturday people, then they come for the Sunday people. Anyway, I think we've hit all the things. Let me just make sure there's...
No, the breaking news.
I've got a few. Is there something breaking before we go?
Yeah.
There is something breaking?
No, there isn't, no. I mean, not that I can see. It's kind of the same things. Yeah. I mean, we're seeing, like, again, lots of international coverage around this. International coverage is already picking up on potential celebrations happening in New South Wales. That's unconfirmed, but I am seeing being reported.
I have seen it on Twitter. It's unconfirmed.
International outlets, it's unconfirmed. I don't know if that's exactly
We
happening.
saw it after October 7. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a large part of Western Sydney that tonight finds this as a reason to celebrate.
Well, definitely there's people kind of laughing about it and celebrating online. Like, that just happens. We do have... there is also elements, Avi, like, just to end on this, far left and far right already coming up with conspiracy theories and blaming Mossad without any... The problem with all this is they're just putting all this out there. There's no links, there's nothing. It's just, they just say it like this and people go with it. So we're going to see all of this over the next couple of days. Opportunists and people just want to spin things just to not take responsibility for actually what's happening right now in this country. The dangers that we face with the growing threat of these type of terrorist individuals roaming amongst us, prepared to carry out these attacks, which should be the main focus now, on understanding this and also understanding the networks that they may be involved in and the people that they're related to. Because everything I'm seeing, there's a part of this guy's life, at least one of the gunmen's lives, one of the terrorists, he seems like a normal guy in a way. And some people are saying he's a bricklayer. There's photos of him at like sporting competitions, whatever like this. Makes you wonder, like, if these individuals are capable of carrying out a terror attack like this, how many more are there like this being radicalized against people in Australia? That is more frightening than if this individual was out there, going to an ISIS training camp and coming back. If this individual is being radicalized in Australia and taught this hatred in Australia and then turning weapons against Australians and committing acts of terror, that is very frightening, because it goes to show you that there's another layer of extremism and fundamentalism that is impacting this type of terrorism in this country, and the authorities have no clue that this is happening until the attacks happen. It's too late. So my final message is, of course, is with prayers for the families of those who are deceased, prayers for those who are fighting for their lives, and of course prayers for our country, because I don't think Australia tomorrow is the same as the Australia before this attack. We're a changed country from tomorrow onwards. From this point onwards, and we've got to pray for our country and hope we can find some manner of way to obviously understand what's happened and get through this and come out on top against these evil monsters that are there amongst us, wanting to kill us and harm us and destroy our way of life in this beautiful country.
And I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody. I know my phone's blowing up, and I can see the messages, I can see the super chats from some of these people and some people that I've met. I see this painter I met at the gym one time. Thanks for all the super chat. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for the love. I know it's a shame that it has to come to something like this for people to realize that we weren't exaggerating about the problem that's brewing in the community. And I hope this is a wake-up call for those of you out there that have been silent until now and do realise, like, now is the time to stand up. But appreciate everyone who came onto this stream, who's watched along with us as this unfolded. It's a horrific night for the Jewish community and for the broader Australian community here, people across the country. I can see that, you know, your average normal person is upset by this, and so they should be. And hopefully we can turn something around. But I appreciate all the support, the love and support we're getting here now. I have uploaded, I've got the team to upload. I think that is a powerful, full interview with the survivor, the older survivor of the attack, where she describes everybody dead around her. So go have a listen to that and you can share it around. Guys, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone. God bless Australia.
God bless Australia.